it is entirely possible
that
you might be part of something momentous this week.
I don't like that.
There is enough random, janky, assorted news. We might actually get to answer some questions.
Oh, my God.
Which it's been like 3 months since that's happened. So
how many of these questions are going to be about Genshin Impact?
Oh,
Jeff, can we just talk for the next 2 hours about Genshin Impact?
No,
dude, we can't talk about this janky anime game. That people are all mad about us.
No, we gotta move on.
Titties.
We gotta move on.
Fine.
We gotta move on, Matt.
Fine.
We've got all kinds of other titties to talk about because this is the Rage Select podcast right here on Rage Select. I'm Jeff.
I'm Matt.
I don't know. Let's see. I was trying to think if I did anything last week that was interesting. I did do one thing, though, Matt, and I would like to recommend it to everybody. I don't know if people realize I got a new phone.
Okay.
And it allows me to do something amazing.
Which is?
I can do this. I can do this.
Whoa.
I can do this.
Whoa.
I can do this. This is playing really well on the radio.
Yeah, I was going to say your lights going. They're fucking.
Yeah.
Jeff is a witch. He's a witch. He's turning that lamp on across the room. No.
I have like kind of a daytime light in the studio, and I have like a kind of a nighttime light in the studio. And even on Amazon, for like $25, you can buy these like little things that connect to your Wi-Fi. And then you can just turn your lights on and off. You just put them in the same plug as your light, and you just take out your phone and be like beep boop boop.
That's
boop, boop. Yeah. Actually,
right.
I can do you one better than that, Matt. But it'll take a minute because it's too complicated to do with my phone. But anyway, I didn't know the future was here. I was unaware that we were living in the future until I went on Amazon and bought a bunch of crap off of Amazon, and now I live in the future, and so can all of you.
This is like mood lighting. Like
you don't know yet.
I don't.
You haven't seen anything yet.
What?
You haven't seen anything yet, Matt.
I'm in bated breath. Jeff.
I'm sorry. My new phone is being a jerk. See, now you got mood lighting.
Whoa.
I also bought one of those LED lamps that can change color. Like
God.
you can literally,
it's green now.
You can literally move it between different colors.
Now it's red.
It could just I could just make it whatever color I want to, and it just does it, and it's awesome, and it's rad. And I just sit here. I don't know. I don't use it. I
think the last time I was over here, Jeff, you were like, you know what, Matt? I think I'm going to start buying things to make my life better. Because you've got money now, so you might as well.
Yeah. I mean, I have like a little extra money, and I was like, I should, I shouldn't wear my shirts until they fall to pieces. And I should be like, I wonder if you can make your lights turn on over the internet. And it turns out you can, and it's not expensive. So
wow,
yeah.
The future.
That's right. We're living in the future. We're living in that Watch Dogs future, man.
Sure. That's what we're doing. I don't want to live in the Watch Dogs future, Jeff.
Well, we're going to get there eventually. But before we start, did you do anything last week of note that you would like to tell all the people of Rage Select?
I mean, this last week's been a little bit of a roller coaster because there's just been a lot of different stuff going up. I
caught some of your live stream last week.
Oh yeah, I was. I did. We did a convention called Kaiju Masterclass where I was but a part. I did some live streaming. There was a couple of really cool guests. We had the co-director of Shin Godzilla was a guest.
Nice.
The director of the Gamera trilogy was a guest.
Nice.
Bear McCreary, composer for Godzilla King of the Monsters, was a guest.
Okay.
Like a lot of really great stuff going on. I got to drop the news about the Tremors Blu-ray.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did. The publisher I work with in Japan just dropped a teaser for a new comic that I'm working on.
Oh.
I can't talk too much about it, but it's a little teaser. It's a little something.
Matt, one of these days, I'm going to get you to give me the scoop. You always come on here to tease, but you never deliver. I'm just sitting over here turgid in anticipation, and you just come in here and you're like, I got to leave now. Bye. I'm like, come on.
Well, there's a new Godzilla anime coming out.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is that like for realsies?
It's for realsies. Like,
okay.
I thought it was fake. Like, the way the news leaked, I was like, this is fake. This is some fan project that somebody slapped copyright Toho 2020. And I'm like, yeah, right. And then Variety broke the story, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's real. But yeah, it's the same studio that does My Hero Academia and Beastars. I think it's Studio Bones or something.
That's those are
no, they're same studio.
Oh, I'm thinking of
you're thinking of
BHA,
BNA.
BNA. Yeah.
Morgan thought the exact
Trigger,
same thing. It's a different furry anime.
Yes. Because I actually watched Beastars and I couldn't get past 3 episodes of BNA. So
Morgan watched both.
Yeah.
But the Godzilla design is by some veteran. What? Stop it. Is by some veteran. I don't remember the name, but he's a veteran Studio Ghibli animator. He worked on like Princess Mononoke or something, and he did this really cool Godzilla design. They did a cast of characters. It looks like a surprisingly racially diverse cast.
Okay.
Couple of Japanese characters. There's a guy who looks a lot like Trump and his dickhead son at the very far end.
Okay.
Considerably healthier, but yeah, like literally, if you look at the cast, you're like, that's supposed to be Trump. So I can't wait for America to want to nuke Japan in order to get rid of Godzilla.
He was, I mean, we're not going to go too far off into this direction, but like, wasn't there a Death Note sequel that was directly about Trump trying to buy the Death Note from some kid?
Hearing about
it's literally a manga where Trump wants to own the Death Note so he can lord it over his enemies, and then at the end, Ryuk like comes in and he's like, "No. You can't buy the Death Note. I'm taking it away from you.
Oh,
you can't
man.
use it or something."
I gotta find. I think I heard about that. I gotta find that. But yeah, so
I know I've seen panels, literally of Ryuk and Donald Trump, and it's like
that sounds amazing.
Okay,
I need to. So aside from that, that's that in the live streams and everything. That's all the crazy shit that I've been.
Did you
plugged
see?
Into.
I saw a thing today where Hideaki Anno like shared some stuff about EVA 3.0 plus 1.0, and like at the bottom there was a thing on one of them that looked like a runtime of 6 fucking hours.
I heard about that. I hope that's not a mistake.
I do too. Look. I've been waiting. I have grown into an old man waiting for this fucking series to finish. If this motherfucker needs 6 hours. Take 6 hours. I'd rather have 6 hours that make sense than like 4 hours that don't make any sense.
I don't think 6 hours are gonna make. A friend of mine messaged me saying, "Man, I cannot wait for 2.5 hours of this to just be Shinji on a train." And
if that's what it takes,
I don't think it's what it's going to take, dude. I think it's just going to be a bunch of bullshit.
If that's what it takes, all I want is for it all to be in there, right? Because like End of Evangelion makes sense when you go read the wiki page with all the supplemental material.
Right.
So like if they put the supplemental material inside of it, and that's the reason 6 hours, I'm okay with that. Because leaving it vague means it doesn't make any fucking sense. So,
but this is also Anno. It's going to be like.
Yeah, let's move on from this. But here's the thing. One last thing before we leave.
One last thing,
is that you remember when I went back and watched it, and I looked all that shit up.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I told you.
You screamed it at me.
Right.
Yeah.
And like when you know all that information, it does make sense what's happening.
Right.
The problem is just that like the setup to that ran out of fucking money.
Right.
And then also got its head up its ass to the point where they really needed a season 2 of Evangelion to get this shit, or like a prequel or like a side project to get it out in order for the end to make sense. So anyway, speaking of shit that doesn't make sense,
yay!
Monster Hunter had a 16-second trailer. Matt, I got this just for you because Monster Hunter, it's Mila Jovovich and Tony Jaa, and there's like a big monster for 1 second.
Black Diablos.
Oh, okay.
It's a Triceratops dragon.
Okay.
So, I have opinions about this.
Give me your top 2.
Shock, right?
Top 3.
I wouldn't even really consider myself to be a big Monster Hunter fan. Oh, no, it's not going to be. No, don't limit me right now, Jeff. This is Matt's platform. I don't even consider myself to be that big of a Monster Hunter
3-hour
fan.
podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
No, okay. All I'll say is the big contention is that the filmmakers decided that this film needs to be that audiences aren't going to understand our fantasy Monster Hunter fighting universe.
Right.
We've got to put some Michael Bay soldiers
Mila Jovovich gets transported to the Monster Hunter universe, has to team up with Tony Jaa, who is one of the people that lives in the Monster Hunter universe. They have to fight a monster.
Now they have all these they have these giant high-powered machine guns and rocket launchers and whatever. All that's going to be rendered useless so Mila Jovovich can learn how to use a sword.
A big bone sword.
A bone sword that has lightning in it, which I guess is objectively cooler.
Sure.
It's just... Trust your audience, you psychopaths.
I don't know, Matt. The Hollywood has a long, honorable history of fucking shit up in the name of making it "quote unquote" easier to digest for people. The Super Mario Brothers movie is a good example.
I mean, but
you remember all the shit with the Uncharted movie where it was going to be fucking De Niro and Joe Pesci and Mark Wahlberg as the Sully and the Drake family going on adventures and shit.
Oh yeah,
and it was like, wait, what? What did you do? Or all that? Did you ever watch Max Payne? Where they had all this mystical drug shit in Max Payne, where I'm like, I know that there's some of that in the game, but at its heart, Max Payne is just like a hard-boiled fucking detective thing.
Yeah.
You didn't have to have a metaphysical Valhalla drug that people take to go into slow motion. We're okay if you just make them go into slow motion and don't ever explain it. I mean, most of us, 90% of us are going to be like, cool, and 10% are going to be like, well, how did the
how did the flabbity flu? I don't know. It's just look. The other thing, and I want to be clear about this, is I'm not mad about any of this. I just
disappointed.
It's a fuck. I'm not even disappointed because God knows my expectations are fucking low.
Sure,
because it's the same crew that did Resident Evil. I'm still gonna watch this though because it'd be kind of cool to see how are they going to, because everything take all the soldiers out of it, everything else looks Monster Hunter adjacent. Okay, Tony Jaa has a giant sword he made out of a jawbone.
Oh, you're talking about production stills and stuff, because I'm in this 15-second trailer.
Nothing in the trailer.
When you take all the soldiers out, it's just sand and 1 second of a CGI monster.
That's all I mean is there are these production stills of Tony Jaa. He's got Rathalos armor and a giant bone sword, and I'm like, okay, that looks like somebody they took a Monster Hunter cosplayer and put him in this universe. This movie's going to be garbage.
I'm still just fascinated that this is what they've chose. The projects that they pick, there have now been 2 Doom movies. And I'm like, why don't you guys pick something that's easy like Uncharted? Just making the Uncharted movie. They even made that Nathan Fillion thing, and it doesn't need to be Nathan Fillion. No. Uncharted's just Indiana Jones. Make the Mummy, but put somebody else in it, and don't call it the Mummy. That's Nathan Drake.
It's because I can guarantee you that this thing. Okay, so Toho is on a co-production on this. This is a Toho co-production. This thing is going to make so much fucking money in Japan. People practically, how there's it's like a national holiday whenever a Dragon Quest game comes out in Japan.
Sure do.
That's also where Monster Hunter is. A Monster Hunter Games comes out, everyone calls in from work. I'm not coming in today.
Okay.
I'm not signing in today. I gotta hunt Rathalos for the 49th time.
I mean, I guess we're kind of getting closer to not stupid, because by all accounts, I didn't watch any of them, but people said that Sonic movie was okay.
Yes.
People said that the Detective Pikachu was pretty good.
Yeah, I think both of those were perfectly serviceable.
Witcher series, I enjoyed the Witcher series. Castlevania, I didn't watch the Dragon's Dogma one because
I heard that one's real bad.
Yeah, I don't think that was the one to make. I think they wanted to make a Dark Souls show, and they couldn't get the rights, and so they had to settle for Dragon's Dogma.
I was going to say Dragon's Dogma is like a dead IP. No one remembers that game, but yeah, you're right. The odds are slightly more in a video games adaptation's favor these days.
Yeah,
but
I don't know, man. Look. We must move on.
Yeah,
from this,
we
but,
could. 3 hours.
But before before we do, I just want to say, this makes it sound like I'm always trying to get the last word in.
It does, but it's fine.
I'll let you have the last word after I say this.
Right.
Is that I don't think that the first few of those Resident Evil movies were the worst thing. Especially, I think the first one is fine.
I think the same thing too.
Fine.
Yeah.
The second one starts to get a little goofy, but it's still got Nemesis, and that's okay. It's really when you get down to the third through fourth,
however goddamn many of those things there are.
Yeah, like I think that the first one could be okay. So I don't know. Maybe Paul W.S. Anderson or whatever his name was. He just got fucking tired of making Resident Evil movies.
I think it's pretty much exactly what it is.
Started phoning it in. It was like, I mean, there's a bunch of clones now. And how do we do with the clones? Kill them all off in the first 5 minutes. It's
yeah, that was the thing. Like, okay. I did not see any of the Resident Evil movies in their entirety past the first two, and then I saw the Red Letter Media when they watched all of them in a row and did a video about it.
Oh,
where that is a great video because it's them losing their goddamn minds because they're like, this is so fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I at a certain point, I'm just hoping for a decent amount of entertainment value and like some cool monster shit. Because the worst thing this could be is boring.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of things that are not boring, last week we got the news that Steve from Minecraft was going to be the new Smash character.
Yep.
Now, when I recorded that, there was still like 2 days. Bryce and I recorded a podcast. There's still 2 days until they did the whole Super Sakurai deep dive into every single goddamn pixel of the mechanics. And so I watched that. That came out since then. I didn't make Matt watch it. It's really weird. Like, you have to mine. You have to mine the Smash stages to get resources, and then you use the crafting table to literally make stuff. Like, you start out with wooden weapons, and you have to upgrade them at the crafting table by mining the stage, and then if you run out of materials, you don't have... Like, your shit will break like it does in Minecraft. It's the most bizarre set of mechanics I've seen in a Smash character, because literally, like, you have to break apart the stage and get materials. Like, when you do jump special, you'll put a brick in the air. You can literally build with the bricks in your inventory. You can upgrade your tool set to like diamond to make it more powerful. And then you can like make a minecart and like set redstone TNT traps and like all this shit.
Well,
it's fucking nuts.
That is crazy, but I'm also thinking like, how the hell are you going to be able to do this in a panicking Minecraft scenario? Not Minecraft, sorry. In a panic-ridden Smash Brothers scenario.
Well, so the thing is that I don't think that I knew this, and I don't think that anybody actually explained this to me for a long time. The thing about Smash that makes it so fascinating is that the basic fighting mechanics of it are so simple that you can then graft, like, things that match the character onto it. Like when they put out the Dragon Quest, the hero from Dragon Quest.
Right.
There's literally one of his specials that like brings up a little menu with spells from Dragon Quest on it that you could choose which spell you want to fire off. Like there's all kinds of like wackadoo shit. Like you can build up Joker's special and then unleash his persona to do additional damage. Like Min Min's attacks from arms can literally arc like they do in arms. Like they've taken... I didn't realize this was the methodology, was to take these games and then literally try to like duplicate their mechanics as best as possible inside of Smash.
I guess that does make sense. It's just I'm so out of the loop with Smash, and I think about like a fighting game as something that your focus is on beating your enemy into submission. But with something like Smash, where the environment is such a integral part of how you're going to be fighting,
huge factor.
It's such a huge factor that I guess you're right. This game must be a fucking nightmare to balance, though.
Well, first off, he said in this that that this was recorded several months ago, and that because of COVID, they weren't able to go into the office. And when they're getting ready to release a new character, he will spend every day for a certain amount of time playing against coworkers for balance sake.
Gotcha.
So there's probably going to be some, like, after this releases, balance based on feedback from the community.
Makes sense.
Like, he said he was playing online with other people, but it's not quite the same as when you're in the same room.
Right.
Like, one of the things they talked about last week was that they had to go through and redo every single stage to allow you to both place blocks and mine them, because you don't just mine on this stage.
Right.
And it's specific. Like, if you're on Donkey Kong's stage, you get a lot of wood. If you're on Star Fox's ship, you get a lot of iron. Like, So they really, really went deep with this shit.
I mean, it really is a testament to. I personally I'm not a Smash Brothers guy. I played the N64 and GameCube versions back in the day, but I never really carried it through past that point. It is a testament to how well designed these games are, if this is the sheer volume of work they put into them.
I think, I honestly think, I'm saying this to you, Matt, in a really legitimate way. I didn't really get Smash either. That Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is like one of the best games I've ever played.
Wow.
There's a story mode that is 35 hours long that is just playing Smash, and you play it with a bunch of different characters. You have to unlock these 2 gigantic maps of like the light world and then the dark world, and you unlock all the characters by doing that. And they have these things where it's like, oh, Solid Snake, he's fighting Metal Gear, but the Metal Gear is just a really big Rob the Video robot. So like they'll simulate, what the enemies are by duplicating enemies, palette swapping enemies, stuff like that.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep.
I gotta hand it to them for going for it.
Yep. Yeah. It's pretty fascinating. There's a lot of information in here. I think these actually a lot of times have like too much information, to be honest.
Well, I mean, what's the view count? 3 million?
Yeah.
So clearly people give a shit.
Yep. And it only has 3.8 thousand downvotes, which is actually not that bad for a Nintendo video, because I don't know what it is, but when Nintendo puts out a video that is not Smash Brothers, it gets like a 50-50 downvote upvote ratio, because people are like, who's next in Smash? Smash, Matt.
Hey
Smash.
Guys, let's talk about Genshin Impact. Here's the thing about Genshin Impact. People don't understand.
We gotta keep going.
All right.
So there's the Minecraft stages like you would normally get. There's some special stages that don't change in case you want to do it.
Right.
They also have some. They always have Mii Fighter costumes. So there's a few new Mii Fighter costumes.
Fair enough.
First, they have the creepers and pigs from Minecraft as brawlers, which is really weird looking because it's like a creeper with arms.
Oh no!
Fighting stuff.
I don't like that.
It's just a skin for the brawler characters, for the Mii Fighters.
Gotcha.
And the pig is even more.
I don't like that.
Distressing.
I don't like that at all.
Also, diamond armor for the sword fighter, which is just like Minecraft armor.
Right.
There's also this character from the Tower of Drauga or something.
Draga.
Called Gil. I don't have any idea what this is.
Right, yeah.
The Bomberman is a brawler character.
Skin,
skin. And then Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes is a sword fight brawler skin, which this is kind of interesting because I feel like this means that they're not going to be there's no chance of them putting Travis Touchdown in the game, which it would be a good fit, right?
Yeah,
it could be a good fit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
they've already got 1 billion Fire Emblem swordsmen, though. So,
well, maybe they figured that. Maybe they probably. That sounds to me like maybe they had a conversation about putting Travis Touchdown in the game, but they were probably like, his moveset isn't varied enough, so we're probably better if we just make it a brawler skin. I don't know.
I figured out who they need to make the next Smash Brothers character.
And who is that?
Michael and I figured out on our bonus video, patreon.com/ratesite. It's Zagreus from Hades. Would be perfect as a Smash character because the different boons could be like randomly applied to give different types of status effects. There's all kinds of stuff. You could maybe have like a death mechanic, It would be great.
I just thought of who I want.
Who do you want?
I want the
Godzilla.
shark from Maneater just flopping around, like dude, but like he is in the game, like she is in the game when she's on land and she's just gonna bop.
I don't even think that Maneater is on the Nintendo Switch.
No,
so
don't take this away from me.
Okay, all right. Also, we got some Amiibos. They're putting Joker and Hero. And then we're also getting Amiibos for Banjo-Kazooie.
Nice.
And
that's a big one.
Byleth. Byleth is some bullshit.
Okay.
Because they're only making Dude Byleth. They're not making the Lady Byleth, which was the character that I played through the entire game with.
Boo.
So it's like, okay, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for I'm waiting for the Palamute amiibo for Monster Hunter Rise to come in. I'm so excited. You can ride a dog, Jeff. Whoa!
And then Terry Bogard.
Terry Bogard.
Do you not realize that Terry Bogart's already in Smash?
He is in Smash. I am complete. I'm going to be honest. We're watching this video, and I'm like, oh, right, Cloud's in this. Oh, right.
Bayonetta's in
Bayonetta's in this.
The first fighter pack was like Joker and what was it? Joker, Banjo, Hero, Piranha Plant was in there as a if you buy it. Who the fuck else? Anyway, there's like Min from ARMS and fucking all this stuff.
This is all starting to come back to me. God, there's so many fucking characters. Somebody did do a mod where Godzilla was a playable character in a in a Smash like a modded version of Smash.
Yeah.
Somebody made like a Shin Godzilla, and I think they combined a few movesets like Bowser and Ganondorf or something. Yeah. But it looked pretty cool.
Yeah. No, Smash Ultimate's great. I mean, I love it. Like, I didn't really get Smash, and then I got this, and like was like, oh, it seems all right. And then I went on Christmas vacation, and I took my Switch out of town with me, and I just played the campaign mode, and I was like, oh, how delightful. It's not like there is an arcade mode, but there's like this whole dumb story that takes a long time. And like the thing is that it's an RPG, so like those fights are hard, so you need to go do other fights to get spirits to level up the spirits so you can be powerful enough to do this fight.
I like it.
It's crazy.
Right on.
It's crazy. I think I have it. You need to take it with you when you leave.
All right.
So yeah, that happened.
Okay.
We also I think that's just about all that we had from Smash. But we're not done with Nintendo yet.
Oh,
so we had some more stuff about Hyrule Warriors.
Oh boy.
We had this 45-second trailer that Matt was all giddy about. That shows it's like the inventor lady.
It's oh man, their names are escaping me, but it's the inventor lady who's like a little girl when you see her because she did the reverse aging stuff.
Okay.
And then the other guy who's the old dude who lives up in the hills that you get ancient armor from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's really the only big reveal here. I don't know if they're going to be playable. I think they're probably just going to get you gear and stuff.
It's possible in the
it looks like there's also a young Impa. Yeah.
No, sorry. That was announced last week.
I missed that.
We already know about that.
All
also,
right.
there's like a little baby version of the like Sentinels that follows you around.
I have seen that
and stuff.
Yeah.
We do not have time to go into all of this, but basically, like, it's kind of crazy the amount of like they've redone the map basically, and then there's like you can do the cooking parts. You can like reinforce. One of the big announcements was that your weapons won't break, but you can reinforce them. But it's the world of Breath of the Wild pre-Cataclysm during the war.
Wow.
And like it's because this is the reason that I like it when Nintendo takes a hold of these Muso games, is because they fill them full of awesome shit that you normally wouldn't get in a Muso game. So like you can see there was actually really briefly there was a list of like characters that you can play as, which was Link, Impa, Zelda, the girl, Mipha,
the big Goron guy,
and then
Urbosa. Yeah,
because the beginning part of this actually is Urbosa fighting the Yifa clan or whatever, Yiga clan.
Yeah,
and they actually show.
Oh shit! They just straight up. It's in the Gerudo town.
Yes,
wow.
And not just that, but apparently everybody can use. They also fully have integrated into the game all of the like those powers, the bomb and the like hit something until it flies off like the magnet and make a box and shit.
Wow.
So yeah, and they announced that they showed very briefly in this. They showed that there are going to be Koroks to collect in this. So Not exactly my favorite thing, but somebody's super happy about
cute.
that.
I was at a convention a few years ago after Breath of the Wild first came out. Somebody made a little 3D printed Korok and put little dried seeds in it. So when I shake it, it goes.
Oh, there you go.
So I have that in my house.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, also they showed a little bit of footage of fighting as Zelda. Which she seems to use the tablet.
Okay, cool.
As like her way of fighting.
Okay, that's. Yeah, because I was going to say she's not really a fighter. In that version of Zelda is not like the the Hyrule Warriors version, which is she's like an archer and a fencer.
Right.
This is like science Zelda. I'm going to fight you with science.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to do stuff. What's she doing?
She takes a picture.
Whoa.
She takes pictures with the Sheikah slate in order to like do damage.
I'm so excited to play this.
It looks really good, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the thing is that I'm not always the biggest fan of Hyrule Warriors, but like when it's connected of Dynasty Warriors.
Right.
But when it's connected to like a Nintendo, Hyrule Warriors was so fun.
I love Hyrule Warriors so much.
And there's like, I'm even like, I don't even know how many people know the twist that happens like 2/3 of the way through Hyrule Warriors, and you're just like, oh shit, oh shit, okay, all right, cool. So, and the thing is that I'm going to be really interested.
A lot of gigas.
Yeah. I'm going to be really interested to see how this goes because we know where this ends. And it's not with a victory party.
No, that is true.
So
it's going to raise a lot of questions.
Yeah,
but I like that they're kind of going all in on this. They're doing because it could have been really easy for them to just kind of like slap a Breath of the Wild skin over the pre-existing stuff. Mm-hmm. But this looks like they're really making this into a proper prequel game to Breath of the Wild in order to tide us over until the sequel comes out.
Yes.
It's the Molduga!
Yeah. So,
oh God,
Matt, you should probably go home and watch this video.
I'm probably going to go home and watch this video.
But it looks really good. It looks really good. The part that you're not hearing, unfortunately, is that they have like 3 hosts on Zoom, and they're like kind of talking over each other half the time, and I'm just like, come on, guys. We also got a big chunk of Pikmin.
Okay.
There was a 40-minute Pikmin 3, because Pikmin, they're re-releasing Pikmin 3 on the Switch, Pikmin 3 Deluxe. They showed some kind of like side quest stuff. I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't watch this, and I actually went to look at a recap, and they were like, if you've played Pikmin, there's not going to be much here that's going to be mind-blowing. It's mostly just kind of like the basics of Pikmin, with some side quest stuff on it.
Pikmin's always been, I've always found Pikmin very visually charming.
Yeah. But
I've never really played it, and I don't have a whole lot of inclination to play it. It looks fun. I mean, it looks cute, and looks like it has there's a big fan base for it.
I'm not a big fan of it. It's like a real-time strategy game, but you have to use a controller and these wackadoo controls. Like,
yeah. I
mean, I guess it's just like, I suppose it's there, but I don't really like I get this when we were playing that game you like with the dog,
Okami.
I don't like using the directional sticks on a pad to do anything outside of like move or select a thing. So like this has that thing where you're supposed to like draw a line to where you want them to go, or like use it as a cursor, and it always just feels wrong to me. And I realize that is entirely my problem, but it also means that like I don't like Halo Wars. I'm not a big fan of anything. Like, those are games I'd much rather. I would actually be kind of interested in playing this if they had like a PC version.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I keep looking at this and I keep thinking about there's a fan animation someone did on YouTube that is it's a mashup of Pikmin and Attack on Titan because it has a little Pikmins fighting these little slug monster guys, but one of the little Pikmins turns into like his own version of one of the little slug monsters. He's trying to drop a giant bottle cap to seal off the wall. Okay. And then the little cool Pikmin with the little blades comes out and like slices the back of one of them. And
that's weird.
It's real dumb. But yeah.
There's also, they announced when they did this Treehouse last week, there's a demo for this game out, so you can go play it on the Switch. If I'd known that, I might have actually played it at some point this week, but it's coming out relatively soon anyway, so meh. We also got a new video that went into a little bit more detail about Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. And other
did not know about this.
Matt didn't have any knowledge about this dumb RC car, ARC car thing going on. This is a fantastic idea, and they can just kind of show like some of the stuff that you could do, how to set it up. It's a real deep dive. It's a 5-minute video. I think that just, like I don't have the room in my house to play this. If I was a kid, Matt, if I was a kid, my parents would be fucking sick of hearing me ask for Christmas. This is all I want. I don't even want a PlayStation 5. I'm just kidding. I would have wanted a PlayStation 5 or anything.
I want Mario Kart in my house.
Actually, that's not true. If I was young and I just had like a Switch, right? And like my parents were like, we're not going to buy you a $500 game console with violence. I would probably be like, oh, dude, my sister and I will play this. You got to get us both one of these. And you know what it would be is that my parents wouldn't want to get it because we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up. But if this was one of the years where we went to Grandma's house, Grandma would have bought that shit for me.
Yeah, there you go. You got to work the system.
And then one of my cousins would have broken it before Christmas was over.
Well, you just hit him in the face with a 2x4. Sorry, is that what you're supposed to do?
I'm talking about being like a 5-year-old. 5-year-olds can't lift a 2x4.
You gotta.
That's why you cry and go to mom. Mom.
No, but this was this looks pretty fun. Yeah, I feel that I know exactly what you're saying. It's like I would be 100% into this if I was like, if I was a kid, if I was a child.
Sure.
Yeah. It's good.
I'm like 20% into it now. I know I'm old enough now to be like, I want that, but I know I will buy it. I'll play with it for like a day, and then I will forget that I own it. It will be in the closet behind the green screen, along with all the Labo VRs and my Ring Fit adventure used to be back there.
Yeah.
There's like 4 sets of Guitar Hero things back there.
God.
Like there's a DJ Hero controller back there. There's a lot in that closet. Nobody should go into my closet. It's not good for people.
There's a body.
Yeah.
It's not good for people. But yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, I think we're going to flip over from Nintendo, from the fun, lighthearted family romp of Nintendo, to what Jeff is really into these days, which is ultra stupid violence.
To bones and ladies with teeth.
Matt, the day I've been waiting for like a year because they put out a fucking Mortal Kombat game without Melina, who is my main, and they had that thing where Kitana could use some of Melina's moves. That shit wasn't enough. But now they have announced that Melina, like last week, Ed Boon was on Twitter like, we're not putting Melina in Mortal Kombat 11. And I'm like, the fuck you're not.
You're full of shit.
So yeah, we got the new Combat Pack 2 reveal trailer. Rain, I don't give a shit. Do you give a shit?
I didn't even know who he was until you told me who he was. He's a guy who turns into water. He's like Sub-Zero. He's like a Ninja Clan guy.
He's like Warm Zero. He's like Sub-Zero, except that he's been left out on the counter and it was hot today.
Yeah, I mean Melt Zero. I don't know. I really like Melina's look. The way they've updated the characters in this version of the game is really good. I like her look. I like that she looks Asian.
Well, I mean, one of the things that they changed a lot of in 11 was that Kitana looks like an Asian person. And so Melina is supposed to be a clone of Kitana with some of that Baraka mixed in just for good measure. Get them teeth in there.
Yeah. Dan.
So
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Melina blowjobs now, and I'm just like, oh, do I want to?
What's funny is that, okay, I mean, Melina blowjobs are funny, but in 10, what I actually think is interesting about this too was, I don't know if you remember, but her character model in 10 was that she had a regular mouth,
right?
And then she had like the weird Joker scars, with the teeth, and then her mouth could open
like
really
a distended,
wide,
like snake jaw,
right? But like if she had her mouth closed, she looked like a hot girl with like some teeth glued to the side of her face.
Yeah.
And I like this because like half her face is gone.
She's like, nah.
Yeah. Because I don't want to have sex with Melina. I want to use her to kick people's asses. And the reason...
I mean, you say tomato, I say tomato.
Two different things, Matt.
No, they're not. But then, and also more.
This is so weird. So after they have a little fight in this trailer, then like... there's a big man trap, and who shows up but John fucking Rambo? Apparently...
he does a little side, like his mouth is just slightly off center.
Yeah. Apparently, they learned their lesson from the combat pack with the Schwarzenegger sound-alike, where they were going to be using like
a sound-alike.
Like no, they're using like vocals from the movies,
okay,
instead of fighting somebody that, because you know they're not going to get Stallone in there to do it. I mean, I bet they could.
They probably could. I bet you Stallone would do it. Just like how I'm surprised Schwarzenegger would know. Schwarzenegger's also like, that is probably a price tag that
somebody
they didn't want to have to shell out.
What I find interesting though is that like the outfit that he's wearing and this whole thing with the M60, this is like First Blood PTSD Rambo, like when it was like a movie about something. He wasn't like an action hero. He was like a broken man trying to find his way in the world who got pushed too far by fucking Brian Dennehy. It wasn't the second one where he attaches like explosions to arrows and shoots down helicopters with them, and like he has to basically go back and redo Vietnam and win this time.
I just remembered. Oh my God, that's right. Yeah.
Or Rambo 4, where John Rambo, where at the end he jumps up on that gun on the back of that Jeep, and then all of Korea tries to run at the Jeep, and he blows up first a bunch of people, then a bunch more people, then a boat comes behind him, and he turns around and shoots the boat too. Or I've watched every single Rambo movie except for 3. The last one, where he's been living in a series of interconnected tunnels underneath a house in the woods. And he's got like this housekeeper lady who's got like this teenage daughter, and then she gets kidnapped by Mexican drug cartels, and then he goes to Mexico and he gets her back, and then the cartels come to his house that he just has like rigged up to murder everybody because he's all fucked up. And I'm like,
I don't think this is our hero, guys. I mean, that was the whole point.
I really wish that the last Rambo movie had just been like, you remember the movie Good Will Hunting, about like somebody that was fucked up on the inside talking to a psychiatrist for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Like I would have watched the Good Will Hunting of Rambo movies.
Yeah, Rambo working through his shit.
Where just like he's like bagging groceries on the weekend and like spends a lot of time. Maybe his therapist is getting ready to go out of town and he like starts losing it and like he doesn't know what to do, but then he makes friends with like a homeless guy or something. And I would watch that movie.
Yes. Makes friends with or you can I'm mad that movie doesn't exist now.
Or you can watch the cartoon where it's like Rambo and the Rambo Force.
The Forces of Freedom or whatever it's called.
Anyway.
John Rambo and the fighting the forces of, what was it, Venom?
Oh, I have no idea.
I watched the Toy Galaxy about that.
I will tell you right now. Oh, those toys were rad. They were super. They were big. This is great. I love this. I don't want any of this to come off like I'm judging. I want this so bad. I want it right now.
I also like that my interpretation of Rambo is like he got kicked in the head by a horse.
That's what he does.
Yeah,
he does that.
He does kind of sound like that.
Yep.
Okay.
It looks great.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a bow and arrow too.
Cool.
I'm all about it because there's all these like outfits.
Okay,
and shit.
real quick before we move on.
Yeah.
What other characters should they have in a Mortal Kombat expansion?
Zagreus from the game Hades obviously should be the next.
All right, well, getting away from Hades.
Steve from Minecraft.
Oh my God. See, I'm trying to have a conversation here. I'll be honest with you. I'm just thinking about the Guyver. I just want the Guyver bio-booster armor Guyver. That would be perfect. It's violent.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of cool powers.
Not enough name recognition.
Fuck that. I don't care. Give me Guyver.
Well, we just have our druthers.
Yes, our druthers.
Okay, then I want the main character from Dead Alive to put that. No, but I mean everything
the priest
so far
from Dead Alive
has been Aliens, Predator, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, the T-1000, RoboCop, Schwarzenegger. We're thinking like 80s Time Cop?
Time Cop?
Or maybe just Bloodsport?
Bloodsport would be good.
Van Damme? But that's not. It is a character. They have like a name.
Yeah. Well, remember when I remember hearing that back when First Blood came out, the name John Rambo was not in the pop culture zeitgeist yet.
Right.
People just called him First Blood.
Oh,
it's like, oh yeah, that's when First Blood like kills the guy.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, 80s action stars
like
Schwarzenegger and Stallone.
What
about John McClane?
Bruce Willis would never let them use his likeness. I guarantee you that's what it is.
Because I'm trying to think of like non-Schwarzenegger, non-Stallone 80s action movies.
But that is a good one. I'd say that would be close. Well,
what about Indiana Jones?
Not bad.
I'm just listing the Broforce character. Snake Plissken.
Ooh,
Snake Plissken.
That's an easy one.
They put him everywhere.
He would absolutely sign off on that.
Yep.
Because they have to go and get these guys to sign off on their likeness and everything.
Well, part of this is because they're owned by Warner Brothers. So actually, I don't know that they have to. I think Warner Brothers owns the rights to the Terminator. They don't have to ask fucking Arnie if they could do something with the Terminator.
That's a good point. I mean, I just have Guyver on the brain because I just found out, and they didn't tell me, but Arrow did do a Blu-ray release of the Guyver a few years ago. They won with Mark Hamill, who turns into a giant bug. And I super dropped $30 on that limited edition Blu-ray.
Nice.
Anyway,
all right, we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit though because
I
don't think we're gonna get to questions.
God damn it! Well, I spent like 20 minutes yelling about Monster Hunter.
That's true. So we also got a few more updates here. Let's see. PS4 and Xbox are going to get upgrades for free, I believe.
Okay.
Part of this update on October 15th, or no, that's when the pre-order starts. Part of this update is going to be crossplay, I believe, between the different ones.
Xbox and PS?
No. Yes.
Okay. It's with a crossplay with a K.
PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One players to all fight each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for them.
So they're going to have free upgrades from PS4, smart delivery on the Xbox S. I think they're going to have a little bit of a problem with the whole. They're going to roll this back. They're going to roll this second pack into like the Ultimate Edition that will then be launching in November. So like this happened the last time when they had the Aftermath expansion. Like if you just buy that, it will be way cheaper than if you were to buy the $60 game, Combat Pack 1, the expansion for Aftermath, and Combat Pack 2. But that's the thing, right? Like, I don't know how you get around that. Like, you don't buy a game and then they're just like, and you get every other content. Well, sometimes they do, but usually as microtransactions, which Mortal Kombat 11 does. Anyway, I'm sure people will be mad.
I like how that's usually the takeaway. I'm sure people will be mad.
Hey, I don't know if you saw when I had the thing up with the Smash Brothers expansion.
Yeah.
But it was like $60 for Smash, $30 for the Pack 1, and $30 for Pack 2. That's $120 to get everybody in Smash, and there's not even they may even do a third one. So, like, I think when you get into fighting games, like this whole expansion pricing stuff, I mean, single-player games have $30 DLC that you buy after the pack.
True.
So,
I mean, eventually, yeah. I mean, I guess at a certain point, it's a question of what is your money worth, and what are you getting?
Yes.
How much are the packs for Mortal Kombat 11? Like, how much is that Rambo pack?
I don't know.
Rambo, Melita, and don't care.
I don't know.
Gotcha. That's fine. I was just curious.
I think it might be $15. I'm not sure.
That's not too bad.
Probably
it's better than Evolve, where it was like, what was it, $20 for one character?
Well, yes, but Evolve was bad from the top to bottom.
True.
Let's see. We already talked about that. In other PlayStation news, we got a PS5 teardown video. This was very strange.
Yeah,
this is
you
real
said
weird.
that, and I'm like, so what now?
Yeah,
you said teardown. What is it? Somebody? I heard that, and I thought it was somebody yelling into a camera about why the PlayStation is stupid and his mom doesn't like it.
No, this is literally like a guy in front of a PlayStation background with a screwdriver taking apart the PS5 to show you all the individual inside pieces.
Wow.
And explain them to you. It was a very strange video. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, where it's like, look, we're disconnecting the Wi-Fi. It's literally like a video that you would watch on the internet because you're trying to fix, your Sega Saturn. You've got all the screws out, and you're like, okay, what do I take out next? And you're like, hold on, how do I disassemble?
Yeah. It's an IKEA video.
It's actually altogether not that complicated of a system either.
It's just
that's the whole motherboard. It's kind of sparse. Like, it's kind of interesting. So they show off a lot of the stuff. There's a few things that are of note from this video.
Yeah.
One is that they're using liquid metal cooling on the main processor, which is something that is supposed to wick out more heat than like your normal thermal paste like you have in a computer. But because it remains liquid, if it ever breaks, it will basically be dumping water onto your main processor.
Ugh.
So he says they've spent a long time making sure that will not happen.
Okay, good.
One of the other things is that they did show, we already knew this, but they confirmed basically that the PS5 will have a 802.11ax/wireless 6 controller on it, which is basically it's like 5 or 6 gigabit wireless protocol that's brand new. Also, you can do Bluetooth over it. So the Xbox Series X, in comparison, has the last gen ones, the 5 series. And then they also briefly showed the expansion slots where you could put a God, I'm starting to not remember all the stuff. The whatever those SSDs are called, the M2 bays for an NVMe PCIe 4.0 solid state drive. Basically, like, that in the PS5, the hard drive is a big stack of RAM, right? It's a solid state drive.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Currently, if you'd buy a hard drive like an NVMe PCIe 4.0 hard drive for a desktop PC, it's a chip about this big and about this wide. It doesn't look anything like a hard drive. It doesn't plug into a hard drive connector. It plugs into a specific slot on your motherboard that was made for that shit hot fast drive to go into.
Okay.
Cool. Sony has said that they will be rating certain drives because the whole thing is that their drive controller is custom, and in order for the performance on the PS5 to work, it has to be fast enough. So you can't just put any drive in. You can only put drives that are going to be fast enough to be able to keep up with Sony's proprietary drive that's in there to expand the storage on the system. So that's what they showed. They also showed the bays for that, even though Sony has not rated any available consumer expansion drive. Now, just as a refresher, Microsoft does have an expansion, like drive expansion that they're selling where it's like 1 terabyte and it's like $225 for one expansion. There's like 2 slots in the system, considering it's a $500 machine. That's like to double your hard drive space. It's a lot, but this is what we're moving. This is the new arms race, right?
Right.
Is hard drive speed, because the faster your hard drive, the lower the load times, the more you can stream data directly into the games. Like,
I'm just gonna wait like a year or two for all this dust to settle, man.
Probably best. You should do that. Everybody should do that. If you're listening to this at home, you should do that. I'm doing it because I don't want my channel to die. And if I just make PlayStation 4 videos, like, I need one of them, or a good PC. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
But it'll probably go down eventually, but probably not quickly. Like, I mean,
video game sales are through the roof right now, and they are probably under no inclination to drop that price anytime soon.
Well, a lot of it's going to depend on how quickly generic drive and chip manufacturers can create an alternative that is fast enough, because it's weird how it's shifted, like, from how big is your hard drive to how fast is your hard drive. Because if your hard drive isn't fast enough, they can't keep up. Like I was going to say, there are a lot of there's a lot of reports, because a lot of people have gotten Xbox Series X's, like, people with like successful online channels.
Okay, fair enough.
And a lot of them have said that it's insane. It's just like, you hit the load button and like 1, 2, 3 games loaded. Like,
ooh, I do not know what that's like.
Yeah. Which last week on the podcast, I want to reiterate this because I think this is a good point. Like, think to all the time you've wasted over your gaming life looking at a loading screen and imagine that you had all that time back to playing games.
Well, thanks. I want to die now.
Well, no, we're moving forward into the future.
No, no.
I couldn't turn on my lights with my phone 10 years ago, okay? Like,
fair enough.
But, yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. This is kind of interesting to watch, especially because you can see how goddamn big the PS5 is.
Yeah, it's the size. Like you and I talking about how it's the size of that guy's torso.
Yeah,
unless he's just a really small guy.
I am not a fan of the way that you make it go horizontal.
You showed me that, and I'm like, I cannot think of a more pain in the ass way.
Yeah,
like how about put some nubs on one of the sides or something?
Flatten out one of those sides, bro. Like, just flatten it out.
No, but you gotta unscrew it, and you gotta like rotate the little fucking thing, and then you gotta like hook it.
I don't like it. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan. But I'm not a fan of the Xbox either, because when you put it on its side, it's like this fucking tall. So, it's like shitty apples or bad bananas. Which would you rather have? And I'm like,
a douche or a turd sandwich.
Yeah.
Which I would have voted for the douche, because the douche is it's a medical equipment.
I mean, you can take turd off a sandwich and then put something.
Yeah, but it's got like turdiness on it, though.
Depends on the turd.
Yeah, sure.
There's some other PlayStation 5 news in addition to stuff. Apparently, they've been giving it to folks in Japan to take a look at. It's going hands-on with some Japanese influencers. One of the biggest takeaways seems to be that it is super quiet.
I like that.
Because that whole giant-ass fan that we saw in the teardown, and then the way that those little wings spread out, apparently it's hot. Like, it will heat up a room that it is in.
Really?
But that, like, it's not a PS4. Like, they learned from that. So, that's cool.
Good for them.
Yep. Another interesting thing that this is going to blow your mind.
Okay, my mind.
Get your mind blown.
I'm ready.
In Japan, Sony is finally switching so that, like, I don't know if you know this, but on a Japanese PlayStation, the X and circle buttons for like menu operations are reversed. So, like, to select a menu, you'll hit the circle button.
I remember that.
To go backwards, you hit the X button.
I remember the first time I ever experienced that was when I got Robot Alchemic Drive, and that was the way they had set it up, to where you have to hit circles. I keep hitting X. I'm like, what the fuck? My little teenager brain couldn't comprehend it.
Well, Sony is changing that. They're trying to they're trying to make it uniform across the board, and like, thank God that they're doing it to the American version, because I don't want to relearn it. But apparently, all of Japan is going to have to relearn it, because you know what I bet it is? I bet that both the American and European PlayStations both use X confirm circle back,
right?
So only the Japanese region doesn't use that, but they're going to change it.
All right. So, they're going to be like, sorry, guys.
Yeah. So to any of you in Japan listening to this,
hi, Toshi.
Hi. That's glad to be here. There's like one hand we could probably count you on, but good luck with that. I remember when I had to get used to uninverting my controls. It was a real pain in the dick.
Well, sorry, guys.
Yep. And let's see. We also have some more stuff. Let's do some game stuff for the PS5.
Okay.
So the PS4 had this software that you got when you got a PSVR called the Astrobot Rescue Mission. I don't think I've ever actually made you play this. It's really interesting. It's a bunch of little VR mini games. You would actually really like it. A lot of them are made for like one person to have the VR headset, and then like 3 other people to have controllers. And one of the ones that they do that with is like on the TV, you're controlling these little Astrobots, and they're running away from a kaiju, and the person wearing the VR helmet is the kaiju trying to like hit them. Yeah,
that's awesome.
There was also a full-on game that they made where you like had a controller, and it was kind of like a Mario 64 platformer, but you actually use the controller to like do stuff in the world. Like a little grappling hook would come out and shoot out of it.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
So they're making there's like a 4 to 5 hour Astro's Playroom that is going to be preloaded on PS5s when you get it.
Okay.
So you just pick it up and go immediately, which is great because it's always been kind of VR centric, and I think that it's a good enough franchise that it should get outside of VR.
Cool.
We also learned that part of the launch lineup for the PS5 is going to include the Pathless.
You and I talked about that.
which is the game where you have the Falcon and the ladies running.
Bow and arrow. It's got a little bit of Breath of the Wild vibe to it.
Yeah, it's from the Abzu team. I'm a little cooler.
Unlike Genshin Impact.
No, I'm a little cooler on it than you are.
Yeah, I thought it looked fun.
I thought it looked... there's something about it that wasn't hooking me, but...
You thought that it was kind of basic in its... like, it looked too bare bones.
Yes.
Yeah, I could... I mean, I want to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. So yeah, that's going to be one of the PS5 launch titles, and it's also coming to the PS4. But also, I didn't see this one coming. Bug Snacks is going to be a PS5 launch title. So November 12th, you'll be able to get into Bug Snacks. I like Bug Snacks a lot.
You're like way into Bug Snacks.
It's made by the people who made Octodad Dadliest Catch.
Yes.
And Octodad is a goddamn amazing game for cool people that get laid all the time. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they haven't made anything since then. And I'm just like, do something. And they're making some weird Muppets eating Pokemon that turns them into strawberries. And I'm like, that sounds great. That sounds fucking great.
It's very weird, but I like it. Go ahead.
Well, they also had the trailer. There's a voice cast trailer, which they seem to have a pretty big voice cast, like a cast of big bunch of people.
There were two people. I mean, we both recognized Fred Tatasciore,
right?
Who's in fucking everything.
Yes.
But there was one other person that I saw that I was like,
it was Barbara Goodson.
Yeah, Barbara Goodson. Fucking Rita Repulsa?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. Fucking just throw my money at the screen.
There's folks in here from like Devil May Cry 5, Persona 5, Evangelion, Jedi Fallen Order. This one, Max Middleman is Saitama, from the from the English One Punch Man.
I know.
Dub.
It's also where'd he go? It's the screen's too far away from me. I can't see it. But he was this regular anime voice actor. I tabled next to him at a show a few years ago, and he was like, "Oh, so you're into Godzilla?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just a little bit." And he's like, "Yeah, I was the English dub voice for the main character in Shin Godzilla."
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, "Oh, fucking hey, man."
Was it Yuri Lowenthal?
No, it was. I can't see the name.
Sam Riegel?
No.
Casey Mongillo?
No. You're just going to read the whole list.
Rick Zeif?
It was... I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but I just can't remember his name off the top of my head. Yeah. But yeah, I saw him on the list, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that guy. It's pretty neat.
Anyway, Bug Snacks is rad.
It's pretty cool.
I want to play Bug Snacks real bad. All right, we're going to go in a little bit overtime so we can maybe try to get a few questions in here.
Yeah, all right.
Bug
Snacks.
Bug Snacks is great. From there, we had some more PlayStation news. Ghost of Tsushima. We got a trailer for version 1.1 of Ghost of Tsushima and a release date. They're adding a whole bunch of quality of life things. Actually, now that I think about it, one of the things they're adding is custom gear loadouts.
Yep.
I could go back and play through the entire game with custom gear loadout since I deleted my save game and play it like for realzos, like being able to not have to spend half my game in a menu screen.
Right, and you get a new horse.
Yeah, there's new trader, there's some new dyes, charms, and like shit. And then also the Legends mode is launching. Now, I'm pretty sure it's going to be launching with a 2-player story mission. I think it's going to be a little bit of time before the first 4-player raid mission comes out.
It looks like the Legends thing is literally going to be like a Japanese fantasy world. Kind of like inspired. You can have a ghost dog.
Yes.
You also said you can pet the dogs now.
You can pet the dogs in the main game. Yes.
Yay.
And like there's a shitload of, well, they obviously just like, it's interesting what they've done here, right? Like they haven't tried to shoehorn this shit into the main game. What they've done is they've taken all of the beautiful assets that they had and been like, let's just make a multiplayer game that's just like a whole other menu, right? Like we don't have to be like, I fell asleep and I had a dream where I fought an Oni. And then it's like, no, just make it a separate menu item and then we'll use everything and make it all like weird and fucked up looking. And yeah,
I love the look of this.
Yeah,
the design, the art direction in Ghost of Tsushima was always really good, but this is them like cranking it up to 11 and making it like hella weird and fanciful, and Yeah, no, I'm feeling this. I had to delete I don't think I deleted my save, but I did delete it off of my main console. Does that mean that it deleted my save?
No.
Okay.
Did you delete your user account?
No.
Then no.
Okay, good. I had to make space for 13 Sentinels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's cool, though. This makes me want to go back and play it.
Wait. How big is your PlayStation hard drive? Delete more shit, Matt.
We got a bunch of... Morgan's got, every BioWare game she can get a hold of.
Well, delete 4 of them.
No.
The same games will still be there. You can always reinstall it. Is she playing them all right now?
She throws stuff at me if I try to touch her save files.
No, not on the save files. You could delete the game without deleting the save files.
She starts throwing things at me.
Okay. I will come over to your house and delete your save games.
No,
delete. I know how to delete all the save games.
She needs me for income, dude. Don't put yourself in harm's way.
I don't understand.
We'll figure it out.
I think even if you have every BioWare game on the PS4 installed, there should still be. Do you still have that Godzilla game installed just in case you want to play it?
I don't see how that's relevant.
When was the last time you played it, Matt?
I don't see how that's relevant. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing Maneater for the 4th time. No, I think I deleted all that stuff. But anyway,
I mean, I have 13 Sentinels installed, but I also have Ghost of Tsushima and Star Wars Squadrons and Doom Eternal.
You definitely have more space on your PlayStation than I do.
I don't think so, dude.
Well, you still got Genshin Impact.
I do. I do.
Okay.
But I have a whole bunch of shit outside of that installed, and I still have a shitload of space.
It's weird. I got to figure out what's it. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. I'm going to teach you how to clean out your hard drive.
I think I get it.
Let's see. We also had some more PlayStation news. Apparently, both the PS4 and the PS5 are going to be getting a whole redo of the way that trophies work. Specifically, the trophy level is moving from... The level range of trophies is moving from 1 to 100 to 1 to 9999. But, your place will be adjusted. So because it's adding 10 additional levels, right? If you were level 12, if your PlayStation trophy level is level 12, after this update you'll end up being level 120 because you stay they're expanding it, but you stay where you are in that ranking.
Okay, I gotcha. It's like you said, it's an adjustment.
There's also going to be, they're going to try to optimize some of the stuff. I would just appreciate if on the PlayStation 5 they could make it so that when you hit trophies, it doesn't take 5 minutes to some. I don't know what it's doing, but this is
compiling.
This is the future. Yeah, compile faster, bitch. It's like a text file. It should upload in 1 millisecond. I don't understand what you're getting off the server for 5 minutes to just show me the trophies. It won't even let me look at them without synchronizing for 1 billion years. I mean, I know I got a lot of games, but fuck, man, come on. And let's see. And now we come to the thing.
Oh no!
Yes, Matt. Yes. All right.
I was kidding.
So, speaking of PlayStations, we're going to briefly talk about Genshin Impact, which is the free-to-play game that Matt and I didn't really like all that much. Hey, man, I wish I did like it. It'd
be nice.
But apparently it's been downloaded 17 million times in 4 days.
What are you people doing?
Well, it's a free game, man.
Free it's got games. Anime titties in it.
Free games are free. I download the free games on the Epic Store, Matt. I don't even play them. I downloaded Grand Theft, or I got Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC, even though I'm never going to play it. I already own it on 8 other platforms, but
I guess you're right. It's not a fundamentally broken game, and it's got anime titties in it, and it looks nice.
A lot of people seem to be enjoying it.
Sure, you can like whatever you like.
I thought at this point that the metaphor would be there's nothing wrong with tequila, but if you get fucking hammered on tequila, fight the whole bar, get hit by a car, and shit your pants, you might
that order.
You might decide to stop. You might not decide to give drinking tequila a second chance. You might start drinking whiskey instead. And that's kind of my feeling about Genshin Impact. Well, there might be a game in there. I don't fucking know. And at this point, I don't want to know because I've been yelled at enough times.
Yeah,
So,
I was going to say, yeah, you guys sure are making us, not you guys are cool. I'm talking about the drive. These guys are cool. I'm talking about the drive-bys who are like, well, you guys clearly admit, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop.
Don't get too far. I'm going to give you, though, this is a good news, bad news situation.
All right.
So the good news is that Genshin Impact has been downloaded 17 million times. It seems to be very successful.
Okay.
The bad news is that because Genshin Impact is a game made by a Chinese company, you can't type the words Hong Kong or Taiwan into chat because they've been fully censored.
No.
And when you do that, it just brings them up as stars, like they're profanity, and you literally can't enter them into the chat. So cool. Good job. Yeah.
Bad.
Also, there's some other weird stuff in here. Apparently, you can't type words, the word words. You can't type enemies or Putin, Stalin, or Hitler into those.
Nothing that'll offend anybody about anything.
Yeah. So, I want to just briefly say, right, that, I'm not here to, go to war with China, right? But, China sucks. So, I want to play... I'm still waiting to play Devotion. Remember the horror game by the people that made Detention, where some artist accidentally put a fucking Winnie the Pooh joke in there, and they pulled their business license, pulled that game off of Steam and have strong-armed them, and that game is non-existent. You can pirate it, but you cannot buy it legitimately online because they fucking made a joke about Fearless Leader. And, let's not forget some of the other dog shit that has happened because of China, like fucking Blizzard and Blitzchung and all that shit.
I mean...
catering to China is not great because China does shit like this. And,
what's even...
if they didn't, I would be fine. But, this is the moment where I'm I think that this game censoring Taiwan and Hong Kong is more important than whether they put an extra shadow over the fucking naughty bits of the underage girl in Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. I believe that this form of censorship matters a great deal because it literally affects humans that exist in the world and that you should care about it. That's just me. That's
exactly.
Just me.
Well, that's the thing is if you're going to get up in arms about underage girls being sexualized in Japanese games, that doesn't involve real world stuff. That's you because I'm going to stop because I'm going to start tripping over my words and
it's better just to say this is worth knowing.
Yeah,
this is worth knowing, and it is worth thinking about whether you want to support a company that does such a thing.
And it's all. And I just feel bad for the Chinese people playing these games because a lot of Chinese people, they're not lockstep with Fearless Leader. They're like, this sucks and we hate this, and our games look like every other game and our movies look like every other movie from every... I'm stopping.
Yeah. We don't do movie news on here. All that Mulan shit was fucking bad. It was fucking awful. And all you have to do is go and look and you will find this kind of stuff. So I think that it's worth bringing up to inform the people that listen to this podcast that this is a thing and that you may want to reconsider whether you want to support a company that does. If you were mad at Blizzard because of the Blitzchung thing, then you should know that, what is the name of the development group? It's called Otaku Save the World is the name of the development group that made Genshin Impact. It's worth remembering that this is a Chinese game from a Chinese company and that sometimes that's not the best thing in the world. So
yep.
And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and take a break. I think we've knocked down enough of these that we can go ahead and we can probably get them done in the second half. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to dump a big jug of cold water on Matt and show him how to delete PS4 games.
I know how.
And then we're going to be back in just a second. I don't know why I'm drinking this coffee. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to get 8 hours of sleep tonight. That's just what's going to happen. But that means that we're back.
Oh my God!
It's like podcast. Matt, there was so much news this week.
Yeah,
I forgot a news story that personally affects me.
Okay,
so I have Star Wars Squadrons.
Right.
I still can't believe it exists. Like, how the fuck did they make a new TIE Fighter game in goddamn 2020? And how did EA, no less, make that? So, like, you brought me back my VR headset.
I did.
So I can do that. And I was like, I want to go whole hog. How much are HOTASs? How much are the thruster, the joysticks, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out that they made an Ace Combat PS4/PC joystick and throttle combo that you could get back when Ace Combat 7 came out, and it cost $80. And I went online and I said, "Okay, Thrustmaster, I will give you $80. That's a gimme stupid money. Like, you know, I can make a video out of that, right?
Right.
I can make a video out of that. I can hook everything up. I can get like a Star Wars onesie for $4 off of Amazon. Pretend like I'm in the Rebel Alliance, right?
Sure.
No.
Because
the same thing that's happened with Xboxes and GeForce cards, because of either Squadrons or Microsoft Flight Simulator or both, joysticks are sold out unless you want to buy them for 3 times the cost.
Oh, yeah.
The scalpers have them out there for like $250 for the $80 joystick.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I saw a story this week that Thrustmaster is like, which, I mean, you know.
Yeah, stop saying that.
Come on. That's the name of the company.
Yeah, I know.
They are basically like, they've gone into full production. They're going hot, heavy, and nonstop. Thrustmaster is in there. They're getting it. They're doing it, and they're going to give it to you.
X going to give it to you.
They're making a lot of new joysticks, basically,
Okay, good.
to refresh the market. So,
all right.
But that is a good lead into this story.
Okay.
So, Matt.
Yes.
Electronic Arts.
Yes. Arts of Electrons.
It's challenge everything. That was their thing.
Was that their thing?
Challenge everything.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it? It's in the game.
Well, that was the EA Sports.
Oh.
It's in the game. Right.
Yeah.
So EA, they
Crack baby basketball.
They flopped with Battlefront.
Yes.
2.
Bad.
Battlefront 1 wasn't super good. They put out Jedi Fallen Order. That seemed to do pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that game exists.
They have the license.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it, but a lot of people seem to like it.
Sure.
And then for some reason they put out this $40 6-hour campaign, 2 multiplayer mode Squadrons game, and it's like one of the better things they put out from the start. Like they've had the Star Wars license for years, and they canceled the Amy Hennig game. They canceled like another game that seemed interesting. They're bad, right?
Yeah, well, EA is bad. They're bad, and they're bad people for bad.
Right. So everybody likes Star Wars Squadrons. And this week there was an interview with EA where they basically said, in no uncertain terms, that what you have right now is all there is. They will not be putting any more maps, ships, expansions, microtransactions, anything into that game. It's like they pooped it out onto the PlayStation Network, and it's there. And that's all you get, which is like the one time that I would have given EA like more money for more ships, maps, characters, story expansions, anything.
Yeah.
They're like, no. So for years, EA has had me bent over a table, fucking me with microtransactions and shitty games. And the one time they make a good game that I want more of, they're like, no. It's like like a fucking opposite day with these motherfuckers. Like, I don't understand.
I bet you. I'm just gonna. I mean, I could be wrong, but it sounds like one of those scenarios where they had. This was just something that some B team was putting together on the side just to poop out. And meanwhile, the rest of EA, or they're like, well, we've got this we're working on a big Star Wars thing off in the fucking wherever.
Right.
And so you guys can do your little Squadrons game because you nerds like your good games. But we've got a Squaresoft Avengers level giant microtransaction fuck stick that we're going to hit you with in about a year.
I mean, the creative director has this quote where he said, "Never say never, so to speak, but as far as our philosophy goes, we're not trying to treat the game as a live service. We don't want to say it's almost done and then dribble out more of it over time, which, to be honest, is how most games work these days. So we've tried to treat it in kind of an old school approach, saying you've paid the $40, this is the game, and it's entirely self-contained. We're not planning to add more content. This is the game, and we hope you understand the value proposition." And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, like what you said is very true. I know that they did a lot of like scanning work on like the original props and stuff when they were making Battlefront 1, Frostbite engine. I'm pretty sure that most of those ship designs and a lot of like the Nebula stuff, a lot of the stuff that's in there
reused art assets.
Was reused assets, touched up assets, enhanced assets, stuff like that. But like, it just seems so weird to be like the one time that I would enjoy more content, you're like, no, it doesn't have a lightsaber. You got what you got. Be happy. And I'm like, all right. I will.
Fine.
But still.
But, I'll just sit here and wait for you to create a not as good Star Wars game.
Actually, Matt, what I'm waiting for is Disney to take this license away from EA and give it to
literally anyone.
Square, Activision. I mean, they won't ever give it to anybody like good because there's no what Ubisoft. What are they going to do? They're going to give it to Ubisoft, and we're going to get fucking Ubisoft Star Wars. Like, what's a giant game company that you would want to have the Star Wars license? Because the thing is that it can't be like CD Projekt Red. It would take a decade to get. We'd get the best Star Wars game, but it would be a decade of no Star Wars games to get that shit running.
Right.
So it's got to be like a mid-tier developer who's good, has a good solid track record, and is like the right amount of money grubbing.
Sucker Punch. You imagine a Sucker Punch Star Wars game?
Maybe, but Sucker Punch they're like Sony boys. It has to be a cross-platform.
Oh, gotcha.
Studio. Maybe.
From Software.
Hey man, you know what? I'm not like
you don't want to play Star Souls? Dark Wars?
Not really.
Blood Wars actually sounds rad.
I mean, it would. You know what? It would be interesting, and the reason that I say that is because From Software has shown us that they don't just know how to make a Souls game, because Bloodborne is different enough and Sekiro is different enough that, like, you know, Jedi Fallen Order was kind of like trying to be Sekiro, but it wasn't, but it was, but kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
So I feel like some hardcore fucking who is it that has? It's Devil May Cry, Capcom.
Yeah, it was just
Capcom.
Yeah,
like the DMs, like Shinji. No, not Shinji Mikami. Who makes?
I think it was Shinji Mikami.
Is it Shinji Mikami? Whoever's making like DMC or like one of those teams. Capcom put out some weird experimental shit. Like, I think you need like a real sharp Japanese game developer to make a real crispy game.
Get the Monster Hunter World guys to make like a really cool open world Star Wars game. I know you're not really a Monster Hunter guy, so
I just don't want a Star Wars skin on Monster Hunter.
That's fair. You want to go hunt Rancors?
No.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
No.
All right.
I what I want is Grand Theft Auto on Coruscant with no Jedis.
You have been talking about that for a long time.
That's me, all right.
Really cool.
Nico Bellic. All right. Speaking of unpleasant things to disappoint you, or maybe or maybe not, the RTX 3070. So I don't know how much you know about this. GeForce has 3 new 3000 series cards that they have put out. They are basically like the hottest video cards that have ever existed in lots of ways.
Okay.
They have 3 versions of them. There's the 3070, the 3080, and the 3090. The 3090 is $1,500. The 3070 is $800. Or the 3080 is $800. The 3070 is $500. I think that the 3080 might be $700. The thing to remember, the 3070 is the lowest end of this new generation of graphics. Apparently, it outperforms like the current highest gen graphics card that they sell by like a pretty fair amount.
Okay.
Now, just like a lot of the other stuff that we've seen happening, when they put out the 3080s,
you said
they
put out,
immediately sold out, and then we're on eBay for twice the cost.
Okay.
The same thing happened with the 3090s.
Yeah.
The moment they put them online, they sold out like within 10 minutes, and the only way you can buy them is from scalpers on eBay. Because apparently, like, we're just not ever going to try to address this shit.
Nope.
We're just going to let it happen with everything.
Pretty much.
But the 3070, which was supposed to be out, which was supposed to be up for pre-purchase relatively recently, has been pushed back to the end of October. And the reason is because NVIDIA is trying to manufacture as many as they possibly can, because this is like the budget level. This is a $500 video card, but this is a $500 video card that could like really upgrade just about any PC that you put it in.
Okay.
So they're trying to get the stock in order to be able to make sure that everybody gets a chance to buy one of these. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but I mean, I guess it depends. Like,
I don't know.
People they've already spent a shitload of money on the 3090s and the 3080s. Maybe.
It's just so like you said, this I guess we're never going to address this problem. You're never going to address this problem of everything, it all gets sold and then just snapped up by scalpers, and then you're fucked. And right. It's just I don't know. What could they do differently?
I have wrestled with that problem, and I think that the first step is like very specific restrictions on eBay. Like not that you can't buy something, mark it up and put it on eBay, but you can't buy an Xbox Series X and put it on eBay tomorrow for twice the price that you paid for it, the pre-order. Like, and people will say, well, then what'll happen is that'll drive that into like a more underground market. And I say that's fine. But eBay won't do it because eBay makes a shitload of money when they do that. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. We saw the PlayStation 5 feeding frenzy when they were just like, I guess it's out there now, and everybody was like, bam. And then Xbox was like, well, we're going to schedule ours like civilized adults. And it didn't matter. 10 minutes later, they were all fucking sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Civilized adults.
No, they
no, I know. It's just a funny choice of words.
No, they talked shit on Twitter about Sony and the PS5 pre-order launch, and then theirs was no goddamn better. Yep. In fact, you could even make the argument that it was worse because the people had the bot set up ready to buy like the minute that they went live. So
yeah, like I said, gonna wait a while before I even try to get any of these consoles.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like you have to request an invite and be vetted, but then that was like the thing is that there's no upside for Sony or Microsoft to make sure that's fair.
Yeah, that's the thing is like,
if they sell all the fucking consoles, who gives a shit? They got the money, so like you
just gotta wait like all the other peons.
Plus, it's also I guess worth remembering that in a year it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's
just being part of the first wave is always going to be disappointing.
Get it. What was I going to say? You wait and go get it. And when it's at GameStop, and it's like you get the bundle for $250, and it's a refurbished model. And I don't know. It's probably
like 6 years from now if GameStop exists still at that point.
Fair point.
I mean, like I'm just trying to do the mental math about like if you can get a half price PS4. At this point.
That's a good point.
So
that is a good point. When did the PS4 come
out? Beginning of Rage Select, 7.5 years ago.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was like one of the first things that I got like right before the channel started. So, yeah. 2013-ish. Maybe. Somewhere around there. That's... It can't be right, can it? 2014? I don't know.
No? Yes?
I tell you what, why don't we plug it into the internet that I'm currently sitting in front of and look, instead of trying to be like, man, it was a fortnight ago.
It was a fortnight.
Okay, so...
403 consoles ago.
God damn, all right. 2013.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, November 15th, 2013 was the North American launch date for the PlayStation 4 controller, or console. And
just a controller.
What's interesting is that November 12th is the release date for like the new one.
Oh,
so it's literally like 7 years almost to the day. They didn't quite make it to 10 like they wanted to, but
get it out.
Yep. Anyway,
neat.
Let's see.
Spiffy.
In other GeForce news, this one's for funzos.
Okay.
So the RTX 3090, the hot shit 3090 card, right? Has 24 gigs of memory, of virtual memory, and somebody on the internet used a custom, like a piece of software to convert part of that RAM into a disk partition. Then they installed Crysis 3 on that disk partition. They used 15 gigs to install the game, which led 9 gigs of RAM left. And then they ran Crysis 3 from their video card on their video card and played it. And it worked like beautifully, apparently.
Okay.
I mean, like, Crysis 3 is an old. It's a 7-year-old game.
Yeah,
but still,
I remember when that game was like the cutting edge shit.
Yeah,
wow.
The fact that you can now install Crysis 3 on the RAM of your video card, not even on your hard drive, just on the RAM of your video card.
Okay, I'm starting to put it together now. I get what you're saying.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
Not bad.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, we are going from things that take a lot of video cards to run to things that take almost no video cards to run, because one of the other things that happened this week was there was a huge Minecraft update / conference. It's like an hour-long live stream.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah. And I did not watch all of this, but I'm going to try to give people the highlights. One of the big things that they're doing for this, their last big update was the Nether update that Grant and I did, where they really enhanced the Nether. This one was called Caves and Cliffs.
Yeah.
And they basically have like redone the algorithm that creates the caves in Minecraft to make the caves like better, like more like caves and less like a hole in the wall.
It's pretty cool. I like all the plants and.
Yep.
It's very pretty.
They've got plants. They've got apparently like there's some amethyst. There's some like new stones that you can mine in the caves. But the main thing is just that like the geometry is way better than it used to be. It's less just like
blocks.
It's less just like a hole and more that they're doing some more stuff to make it more like a cave would actually be.
Yeah.
There's goats. They've added goats into the game. Okay. There's a new enemy. There's this new enemy called what was it called? Like the Arbiter or the Warden.
Oh,
this
God.
Crazy fucking thing that's in the caves. There was a thing where they had a community vote about 3 different mobs to put in the game, and the mob they ended up putting in was like a glowing squid.
As you do.
There's also this crazy underwater... you can mine copper now.
Okay.
One of the most interesting things about copper is that you can, like, they have this thing where somebody makes a copper roof for a house, and then they time lapse forward and show that the copper
it rusts,
like oxidizes or whatever. It turns green over time.
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, there's some other stuff in here that I don't entirely understand. There's also these little like
Xoddles, they're salamanders.
Oh, you can like put them in a bucket and they'll like fight stuff apparently for you.
All right, get them.
Lots of shit going on in Minecraft. They also talked about Minecraft Dungeons is getting a future DLC that's like a clifftop DLC, as well as a bunch of other enhancements, and it's getting crossplay, which is the big thing that the Minecraft community has really wanted for it. So yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of like if you're into Minecraft, man, like between Smash and this, it's like, damn, it's a week of Minecraft for you.
It's so it's so interesting to consider like this weird game that came out like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And now it's just this weird little low poly game back when everyone was like, but graphics though. And and now it's this now, and it's this giant pop culture juggernaut.
Well, I think the most interesting part about Minecraft is the fact that like when Notch was making it, it was like one dude doing all this stuff, right? But like Microsoft bought it, right? And then I feel like they put like a fully staffed, fully paid development team, and they were like, start adding content, start ironing it out. Like, we want this to continue. We want anybody playing Minecraft to be like, oh shit, they just added a new update. I got to go back and see what's in Minecraft now.
Yeah.
I got to log back onto my server and check out what's going on with my buddies. Like, did you know the server that I made for Rage Select for Grant and I, like on the PC, you can basically go to Mojang's website and just basically, I pay like $7 a month to rent a private Minecraft server.
Wow.
From Mojang directly, which is money that goes right into Microsoft's pocket.
Wow.
And there's like a lot of stuff to do in Minecraft. There's like these other weird modes that you could do, and like you can play other people's stuff. So Minecraft is like I feel like if you think that all Minecraft is what it was like when Jason and I played it, like no, it has really expanded since then. Like the underwater updates, like the modding tools, the mobs, the Nether, the end game, like all that shit. So yeah,
I mean, it's pretty. It's nice. I do. That is one of my all-time though favorite videos. Is you and Jason playing the game, and you start off and like this looks like shit.
Yeah,
and then like I think by the second video, Jason was like, "You're coming over this weekend."
Well, no. I mean, the story, of course, is that between the first and second parts, we sat there and played Minecraft for like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And got like super, super, super fucking into it. So
yeah, we're going a little journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
cool. All right,
we got all
I heard
that.
you can find fossils now too.
Yeah, there's some kind of like archaeology thing that you could do in the game now.
Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff owned by Microsoft Flight Simulator is apparently going to be getting VR.
Oh.
So when you they're doing like beta testing right now for the PC version of using like PC VR headsets, which I think, I mean, like, I wish I had a computer that was good enough. Like, I sent you they just did the Japan update.
Japan thing, and I'm just like, oh, there's Hakone.
And it would be really cool if, like, you could do that with a VR headset and, like, you know, fly over places, look out the window in VR and be all immersed and see it in 3D and shit. Like, it would be really cool. Mm-hmm. It's just that, like, that's one of those, I don't have a computer that's good enough to run bad VR, let alone, like, the current like benchmarking app to see that only runs pretty good on a 3090 like so, but yeah, if you want to, you got to sign up for like the insider program, and you can get, and you got to have like, yeah, obviously you have to own your own VR headset. They're not gonna like send you one.
Yeah.
Or else I'd be keeping this shit a secret and applying with my pre-order bots to get 100 VR headsets and then mark them all up and sell them on eBay.
Obviously.
And retire.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. In other Microsoft news, we got a lot of weird Microsoft news this week. So Microsoft has, I feel like this headline was designed to fuck people all up. Microsoft has entered into an agreement with GameStop. This does not mean what you think it means. Microsoft has entered into an agreement with GameStop to get them onto their Microsoft 365 cloud server architecture, and then provide them with integrated Microsoft Surface tablets to control their POS systems, their inventory, their checkout, the management tools that they need to run GameStop. So you might see this headline, but it doesn't mean that GameStops are going to become Microsoft stores, or that Microsoft is going to be like converting GameStops into Microsoft friendly or like Microsoft branded things. It just means that they're going on to the tech of Microsoft's backend server solutions.
Okay. Because I saw that headline there, and I'm like, what does that even fucking mean?
Yes.
All right.
So yeah.
All right then.
That's pretty much it. I just wanted as a PSA. Don't think that there's some big change. Don't be like, I wonder if I can go get an Xbox Series X pre-order because GameStop is now a Microsoft store. They're not.
Nope.
They're not.
Nope.
They will have Series X's, and they're also part of that program where you can sign up to pay in installments for a Series X.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I mean, like, so is Target and Best Buy and shit. Wow. So it's not that big a deal. And then I think last on the Microsoft front, so Microsoft has a service that comes with Game Pass called Xcloud, which is the stream to your phone version of the Xbox.
Okay.
It is currently only available on phones. It is not available on like PC or the Xbox or anywhere else. It is just a cell phone app for iPhones and Android phones.
Okay.
But apparently they have plans in the future to try to bring that same streaming tech to both the console and the PC. It's just right now they're focused on phones only.
Weirdly specific. Maybe the phones are like a test case, like a testing field, test run.
Well, so I think that the phones, like getting it working as best it can on phones, it is a higher priority for them because the other two devices that I just listed off can install video games, right? Like you can't install Doom Ultimate on a phone, but you can install it on an Xbox Series X or Xbox One or the PC through Game Pass. So I think that's why they want it to be there first, because that then allows people to like play Forza on your phone and not have to install it, whereas you could just install it on your Xbox instead of dealing with your crappy internet connection cutting in and out.
Remember when we used to think about Skyrim being on our phones?
Yeah.
Or Warcraft being on our phones. And we used to be like, "Oh my god, what would we do? We would never do anything anymore." And now it's like, "Oh, by the way, Microsoft's just going to stream Xbox games to your phone." The times they are a-changing, Jeff.
Oh yeah. No, I can turn my lights on and off with my phone.
I remember back in the day when I can't remember my wife's face.
Who would have thought that like by the time you could stream Skyrim on your phone, you're like, "Man, I played enough Skyrim." Fuck Skyrim. When's Elder Scrolls 6 coming out, Microsoft?
Did they announce that already?
Yes. 2 years ago. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then Bethesda got bought by Microsoft.
Get ready for a bunch of jank.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's part of it.
I mean, actually, it's probably going to be 5 to 6 years before we see Elder Scrolls 6. They have another big RPG they have to put out before that Starfield RPG.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the fact they got bought by Microsoft, they'll inject a shitload of money in and just it'll be good.
Finish it.
So.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from there. If you are a PC gamer, Steam has their Steam Game Festival Autumn Edition has started. Steam, I think, started this last year with the whole GDC demos that you could download type of thing. So basically, they have a landing page, and there's going to be some like exclusive time-limited demos that you can play. I haven't played any of these games: Underzone, Celesta, Crown of Magister, Battle Hunters, Demon Turf, Aircraft Carrier Survival, and Unbound Worlds Apart. They're also going to have like developer interviews and kind of just mini. They kind of do this from time to time. Like it's not like a full-on event. It's mostly just kind of like
some content.
Yeah, you can
seasonal content.
You can download some limited time demos. There are some of the ones that are up there though are ones that I have played that are really good. Fights in Tight Spaces is very good.
Okay,
I like that game a lot. And Ghost Runner I played with Bryce. Like last time it happened was during the summer when you and I played that game with the lady in the mech suit. There was like the tower defense game.
Lady in the mech suit. Yeah, I remember that one. I do not remember the name of it, but I know. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this is like the fall edition of that with some new games.
Oh yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
Yep.
Man, I have not touched Steam in a long fucking time.
I'm not trying to shame you, Matt, but you sent me the specs for your PC, and if you bought one of those, everything on your PC is way better than what I have, except for your video card. If you bought one of those 3070 video cards, you could run like any PC game at medium high to fully max settings.
My video card really is that not great. That would explain a lot.
It's like the one thing. Like when you sent me the specs for your computer, it's the one thing. Like everything else you have is faster than my computer and more and better, except for your video card. It's like if you just put a good video card in there.
Well, let me ask you something. Does the video card have anything to do with Photoshop?
I'd have to check. I know that there's... we should probably talk about this later. Just as a general PSA, I mean, I know that Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects can both use your video card to do video rendering faster because my video render time has gone down by like 40% since they integrated that. I think there's some acceleration that happens in Photoshop, but I would have to check to be for sure.
No worries. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, speaking of games on the PC, we got we got 5 minutes worth of actual Amnesia Rebirth gameplay, which we've had some trailers up until now, but we finally got an actual section of gameplay.
Yeah, that opening scene, I was screaming and squirming because it wasn't
even that scary, Matt.
Well, no, it's the noises and it's that intensity. Like, I have nightmares about shit like that where there's something coming at you and you're trying to, you can hear it. It's like 20 feet away from you and it's coming towards you and you can hear it behind you, but you're trying to do some shit to get through the door to get away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a lot of physics puzzles, which is interesting because in Amnesia, I remember Amnesia. I don't really remember Machine for Pigs. That was another one where Jason and I were like, I don't know, this seems stupid. And everybody was like, you're stupid. And I was like, all right. But I'm not traditionally a fan of Amnesia because one of the biggest gameplay mechanics of it is like, turn your camera away from the monster and wait for the spooky noises to go past you.
Right.
And I think that has a limited amount of time that it works. I think it works in the beginning,
right?
But like once you've been doing it for 4 hours, you can't just stay all keyed up for 4 hours straight. You're just like, fine, fucking kill me. I don't give a shit.
Well, it was a very that was kind of Amnesia was very exemplary of that era when major console developers and major game developers had decided that horror games were no longer relevant and no one wants to play. They decided no one wants to play horror games anymore.
Right.
So then you have all these indie titles coming out that are really amping up the horror and finding they were exploring new ways to create horror games.
Yeah.
And Amnesia was that. It was that thing that like people would play and they get freaked out by it, and it kind of became this cult hit that grew and grew and grew. But of course, the more eyes you have on something and the more experience people have with something, the quicker a veneer will fall away. And then hopefully by that point, people will start to learn like, well, how can we don't remove the tools?
Yeah.
How can we how can we get from this to something like Outlast?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I do know that this seems more interesting to me than the original Amnesia because I kind of like the weird Half-Life physics puzzle shit that's going on in here. I also think that more than any monster, the idea of holding a lit match until it burns all the way down is like more anxiety inducing to me than any monster in any video game because I've done that. It happens. It's a real life thing and not a pretend spooky monster man.
Yeah, you're like, fucking out.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Burn your fingers. So
yeah.
Also at the very end of this trailer, a trap goes off and a live grenade is set at the person's feet and they throw it like it's like if you know when you try to throw something but you wait too long, you actually just throw it on the ground right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, come on, it's a grenade.
Yeah.
Put some effort into it for fuck's sake.
Or just run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, this game is coming out like I think by the time you hear this in like a week.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out the 20th, 21st of this month. One of those two.
Spooky game time.
Yep. I told you, right, that they're putting out the sequel to that to the Little Hope, the Dark Pictures anthology. Remember we played Man of Medan last year?
Yeah. Oh, they're doing another one.
Yeah, it's an anthology, so they're going to be doing one a year.
Okay.
This one's about witches, but they're putting it out on Halloween.
Boo.
So I'm like, we'll play it, but like I was thinking, it'd be cool if we could do like another marathon, right? That was pretty fun. But we can't have it ready for Halloween if it comes out on Halloween. So my neighbor's going to call the cops again.
That does happen.
Anyway, from there, I hope you're ready for some Ubisoft. We got a lot of Ubisoft.
No.
Got a lot of Ubisoft,
No.
Matt. First up, everybody's favorite battle royale game that everybody loves, Hyperscape, is a season 2 coming out. It's actually out. You remember when we played Hyperscape?
No.
We did play Hyperscape.
No, we did. I'm just like, yeah, that was a really interesting episode because I feel like we were playing it.
Yeah.
And we just started having nice, relaxed conversations about stuff like friends do.
Yeah.
And eventually we were just like, all right, bye. Just because the game is just so like, it's also not for us.
Yeah.
We are not this target audience.
Yeah. So they're going to be adding some new game modes. They're going to be adding some new weapons. They're going to be adding some new powers. They say that they're like really focused on trying to make the game like better. Like they recognize that it's a little too generic, that it doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah.
So starting with season 2, they're going to be trying to revamp it. I mean, the big thing for these games, right, is as long as there are enough players that anybody can get a match when they want to, then it's fine. But if I like, there was a report that I was reading today where apparently on the PC, like the Avengers game consecutive player count is down to like 1,000. And it's starting to get harder to get like match made in that game. So.
No, it's almost like they made a kind of okay first person game and then a mediocre multiplayer that people have tons of alternatives to. But what would I know?
I kind of liked Avengers, but that's
no. I mean, that's what I'm saying is like I when I understand the first player game is fine, but then like why would anyone play the multiplayer? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. But as uninterested as I am, okay, so we're going to talk about 2 games. Hyperscape is the first one, and my level of disinterest in Hyperscape is basically exactly where it was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my level of disinterest for Watch Dogs Legion is actually a lot lower than it was before I watched this post-launch content trailer that they put out this week. Because, Jesus in heaven, Lord Jesus and Donocles help me. Like, man, a lot of this was multiplayer, and I'm like, Watch Dogs isn't even known for it. Like, it's like I know there was multiplayer in Watch Dogs 1 and Watch Dogs 2, but like, man, this is that Serge Haskell shit that we found out when all that shit came out about Ubisoft, where this one guy was like, every game's got to be the same. It's all got to have multiplayer. It's all got to have like it's got to have like the players got to be able to build their own protagonist, like, because the more they show about this game, the more it looks like The Division 2. It looks like fucking Ghost Recon Wildlands or Breakpoint. It seems like everything else, and that's a shame to me because I feel like Watch Dogs 2 was very different than everything else.
I mean, yeah, I remember you. So you showed me that trailer of like all the post-launch stuff.
Yeah,
and I remember being like, I don't know what the fuck this is about and what any of this is. Like, I couldn't focus on anything because I'm like, it's all this shit.
Spider-Bot PvP multiplayer, Matt.
Great. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
And then you were like, oh, I'll show you what it's about. And then you showed me the story trailer and I'm like,
I think you were even less interested.
What is this Avengers horse shit? Like, you even said, like, oh yeah, it's Mysterio. He's taken over London or something. And I'm just like, I thought this was about, and you and I talked about this. I thought it was a not too distant future, like the more to do with like how everything's interconnected, mm-hmm. and there's a kind of a sense, there's a grounded sense of reality to it that gives it a unique flavor because mm-hmm. just far enough in the future where you could see all this shit really happening.
Yes.
And this is like, first of all, all the character models and everything, it is the Ubisoft team was sent to play Fortnite and go buy a bunch of Fortnite action figures from Walmart and be like, well, we got to design characters like this mm-hmm. where they're wearing pig heads and dinosaur costumes.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me break down
Wiki.
Some of my feelings here.
Wiki.
So first
breaking
off,
it down. Wiki.
First off, I don't think that anybody that plays Watch Dogs plays. Oh, you know what? Let's back up one more, just in case anybody doesn't actually know. The first Watch Dogs was mainly was repurposed. The first Watch Dogs was supposed to be an Assassin's Creed game
that takes place in modern day.
Takes place in modern day,
which is a cool idea,
right? And the idea of like you kind of hacking into stuff, and that's how instead of having like jump off of building superpowers like the assassins do, right? You're going to use some modern day stuff. Like right. you can look at the character designs and see that this was what was supposed to be happening.
Right.
And that I feel like at a certain point they retasked it where instead of fighting the head of the modern day Templars, they made that into a mob boss. And then it became this thing where, like, if you had a city that was wired up for the convenience of everybody with devices online, what would be the consequences if a hacker was able to take advantage of that?
Which is a really cool conceit.
Which is an interesting conceit.
Yeah.
But it's the beginning of a thing. Watch Dogs 2, to me, really was the one that fleshed it out, where it was like, now the main character in Watch Dogs 2 has been profiled by this system that watches all of your online activity in this town that is fully interconnected, and he is working with DedSec in San Francisco to essentially try to wrest control of this centralized control system from, like, a man bun Mark Zuckerberg, like kind of authoritarian, like not even necessarily like evil, but just like, hey man, I control this shit. I'm the tech billionaire. Like, I made this. It belongs to me, and I can do whatever I want to, etc. And DedSec is like a bunch of scrappy fucking hackers in the back of a comic book store, literally.
Nice.
Who are trying to, like, do shit. Watch Dogs 2 was incredible. Like, it was so good. This looks like The Division, or like I don't know what the inciting incident is, but I don't know where CTOS is in this mess. It's like there was a terrorist attack. London has been locked down by, like, police.
It's not clear.
PMC police and, like, criminals, and that we're going to have to take the city back by recruiting regular people to beat up the cops. And like ride their construction drone and zap people with their defibrillator, and apparently, according to post-launch content, hypnotize people with a watch or use their extrasensory post-humanist powers to take control of the minds of the guards. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Do you remember when we started with the mob and Facebook, and now people are using their psychic powers to take over the guards and flying through the air on drones like they're superheroes in a pig mask and a neon a future Joel Schumacher's London. What? Why?
But Jeff, the main character from the first Watch Dogs is coming back.
Yeah, I already knew that. Knew that. Aiden Pierce is coming back in a set of a mission. This is actually the season pass called Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline, where he looks like paunchy and stupid. Like, he
looks like Joel.
He had his coat, like, his coat was always like kind of done up at the top and then like open like at the bottom.
Yeah.
But then like underneath it, he's wearing like what looks like just a regular like dad bod khakis from Sears and shit.
With
like
a belt that goes just under his gut.
Yeah.
It's not good.
But that's not the part. I knew that part. That part wasn't the part that made me mad. The part that made me mad was that they brought in from Watch Dogs 2 Wrench. And like, Wrench is fine. Wrench is an interesting character. I like Wrench. But Marcus Holloway is the main character of Watch Dogs 2, and he's fucking great. And I like him a lot. And why? Okay. I'm just trying. I'm looking around here. I am not trying to say anything here, but I'm going to ask this question. Why is it that the main character from Watch Dogs 1 and the supporting character from Watch Dogs 2 are both being brought in as fan service for Watch Dogs? Could it be that the main character of Watch Dogs 1 is a white guy, and the supporting character that they decided to bring in from Watch Dogs 2 is a white guy? Not the black man who is the main character, not the lady that does all of the work, not the like autistic hacker kid that was like one of the side characters, not the other black man who was part of the hacker collective. They picked the one white dude. I don't even know if Rich is white. I don't think he ever takes his mask off in the game.
But either way,
but I just don't know why you couldn't bring Marcus in, right? Like, Marcus was a good character. I like Marcus a lot. That's all I'm saying. And there's something weird with, and a lot of this goes to the fact that I'm not just going out on a weird limb here, because we had that report from Ubisoft that like Cassandra was supposed to be the main character in Odyssey, and Serge Hascoët like made them put a dude option in there because he's like, gamers don't want to play as chicks, bro. Put a dude in there. Like the main character in Assassin's Creed Origins was supposed to be killed off quarter through the game. You're supposed to play the rest of the game as his wife, and that guy said, "No, bro, you got to play as the dude. Gamers want to play as dudes." I can't help but think that this is like leftover from when that motherfucker was there.
This entire thing, all of this Watchdog Legion shit, and this is the problem, people, that I had with Genshin Impact. Is that I know it's like
come on, man. Don't do this to me.
All I'm going to say is it is a mass of market-tested crap. It's a bunch of, even if it's functional, that's fine. But I can't help but, maybe this is my problem, I don't know. I can't help but look at this stuff like Watch Dogs Legion and think this all looks like a bunch of focus-tested horseshit. I'm gonna stop saying horseshit. I'm gonna stop saying crap, and I'm gonna stop saying horseshit. I'm gonna stop saying all these bad things. It just looks very marketable. It looks like something that people put together with this facade of coolness on top of, let's throw everything in but the kitchen sink. There's a multiplayer aspect. There's a Dark Souls aspect of you invading other people's games. Yep. There's this limp-dicked fan service. There's a story that is very it has a veneer of being politically relevant, but it's very clear this is not, you're not really fighting the police, you're fighting like an evil paramilitary organization, and your main character is your main bad guy is not even like he's this super villain that, even though you're kind of supposed to be the wild cards disrupting the status quo, but instead there's an even badder guy who's a real terrorist, and it's like the whole thing feels very safe under this veneer of edginess that's also very market tested.
Without wandering too far out, when you say that, what I think in my mind is, I don't know if I would say safe. I think the adjective that I would use for Ubisoft over the last 4 or 5 years is cowardly.
Ooh.
Because the thing is that like they want to use like settings and things that evoke certain things, but they don't want to say anything.
Right, of course.
Like, what did Far Cry 5 say about America?
It kind of didn't say anything.
No. What did Watch Dogs 1 say about the digital state, like how we're connected to our devices, phones,
the mob?
Right, like nothing. What did what does I don't even know. You can answer me in the comments. What does Ghost Recon Breakpoint say about AI? Because like their whole thing in Ghost Recon Breakpoint was that they had this island, they were trying to make this AI. It turned into this like kind of Terminator-ish thing. Actually, it literally turned into Terminator at a certain point. But like, what is the Division trying to say about like consumerism or the power of the state or any of that stuff? Because it's all cloaked in, like, this is going to be a really weird game. You're going to roll around shooting police officers, like with your super spy. I mean, they're not actually police officers,
right?
But they're police officers. They're going to chase you if you do stupid shit. Like, I've seen the trailer. They're going to chase you in a car that has sirens on it. They're going to be dressed in black with, like, their iconography is going to look like police officers. And your job in this game is going to be to create a quote unquote resistance to fight the police officers. And it's just, to me, weird. And maybe that's why I like Watch Dogs 2, because Watch Dogs 2 had the balls to say something. Like, even if it wasn't deep, Like there's a whole submission set about people who join their version of Scientology and how they're actually scamming them for money, and you have to expose them. There's a whole subset of missions in that about Marcus's friend who works at their equivalent of Google and how he is a black man at Google and has to like put on a certain veneer when he goes into the office. There are some things that are being said there that I think are more interesting than these weird surface level Ubisoft things. I've said this too many times.
It's fine. It's worth talking about.
It's just the problem is that Watch Dogs was my last hope for Ubisoft. It was. I don't like Assassin's Creed anymore. I don't like Ghost Recon anymore. I never really liked The Division. Like Ubisoft used to be a company that made games where I was like, oh, that looks cool. That's different and interesting. Prince of Persia. I remember that game. Like, this looks like a cool version of that. Or like, they're making the Tactics Rabbids game for the Switch, right? But over the last 3 years, it just seems like everything they put out has been like the exact same game with a different coat of paint. I mean, for fuck's sake, we didn't even talk about how at the end of that coming up trailer, they're literally putting in one of the assassins from Assassin's Creed into Watch Dogs Legion. And it's like, okay. Great.
All right.
So I don't know. Like I'm going to play it. And I'm going to be really frank here. If you want to talk about, Genshin Impact, the thing is that I'm going to go into this. I want to like this game.
That's the thing.
I want to like this game so bad. Like, not only is Watch Dogs 2 my favorite Ubisoft game over the last 5 to 10 years, but it's like on my top 50 list, maybe top 100 list. Like it's a great game, and I love playing it. And to see this franchise as just one more of those franchises that has been dragged into this vortex of just like every game has to be the same thing. It's sad. It makes me sad.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel the same way. That makes me sad to hear because it's just, and I guarantee you, it's because whatever Ubisoft's ethos is, their ethos is probably we have to sell. We know we can sell X number of titles if we have these elements in the game and this amount of marketing put behind it. We will make X amount of money. And if we fuck with that in any way, we could lose money. And that also ties into that cowardliness, that idea of like, we're not going to really push any boundaries here.
Yeah.
I remember when Assassin's Creed was going to change the fucking world, because it was going to be this bold thing that was supposed to say something, and it was going to be you're fighting. Well, you're not really fighting the Christian monarchy or anything. You're fighting the Templars, quote unquote, who are only kind of that. And
it was something new and different and interesting. And then it became I don't know what happened.
Vikings. Sneakies.
Yeah.
Sneaky Vikings.
Hey, at least in the last trailer that they put out for the Sneaky Vikings, they show that like a pair of assassins visit the Vikings and like, and then at the very end, the Igor, whatever his name is, whatever the main character's name is, like puts up an assassin hood. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense than just like, I guess I have this hidden blade. And like Vikings were kind of duplicitous, and so that's Assassin's Creed. It's we've just given up on any of this. Anyway,
I do want to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've heard I have it. I got it as part of the summer sale, and I know you weren't crazy about it, but my friend Rebecca really, really liked it. So I want to give it a shot. I want to play Lesbian Simulator.
It's possible. The thing is that I will be honest when I say that I did not give Assassin's Creed Odyssey a chance, and I've tried it multiple times since then, and I still don't know that I can give it a chance because I just don't want that franchise to be an RPG, and it is.
Okay.
I liked it when it was Batman, and it's turned into Dark Souls, and I liked it better when it was Batman because I think one of the power fantasies of being an assassin is that you can, murder the shit out of anybody, and that like if that guy's number is too high for your number, then it doesn't matter if you stab him, you will die. And I kind of liked it better when you could leave like 60 guys in a big circle around you in the streets of Venice because you're just like counterattack, boom, counterattack, boom, counterattack, boom, counterattack, boom.
Granted, that sounds great. I've never really played an Assassin's Creed game, so that's why if there's a different paradigm to it, maybe I'll have a different experience.
if you come at it without having played any of the others, you won't have any of that baggage. So
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's the same thing with me and Far Cry. I fucking love Far Cry Primal. I literally only played one other Far Cry game before that, and it was fucking Blood Dragon. So, not the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see. We're fucking so far over time that it's not even crazy. We got a trailer for Baldur's Gate 3 early access. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be checking this out.
Never played a Baldur's Gate game, but this one's got mind flayers in it.
Yep. I mean, I'm a big fan of Larian. I like the fact that they made a difference. I did read like an article of somebody just complaining about it's too dark, and I'm like, good. Yes,
dark fantasy.
Fall Guys has a season 2. It is launched. It's going to have some new levels. It's going to have some new game modes, some new like playlists, and some new outfits, like this kind of medieval witches and knights and stuff.
It looks cute.
Yep. Fall Guys. I hope Fall Guys does well. I hope now that everybody's playing that Among Us or whatever, they don't stop playing Fall Guys. But they should have a crossover because the Among Us dudes kind of look like the Fall Guys. So
fair enough.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's cute.
And then we got a trailer for Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yep.
It looks ridiculous.
It looks absolutely ridiculous, and I fucking love it. Yeah. This is why I want a Series X. I want to buy a $500 console for this game because the PS5 version doesn't come out till March, and I kind of want to play whatever the best version of this is. I love the Yakuza franchise.
You really do.
I kind of wish that I wish they weren't so long because I want to do one as a sequential. I really want to do one as a sequential, Matt. But like, they're so long. They're so fucking long. I love the mini games that we see here.
There's a lot of really fucking crazy mini games.
There's the Guitar Hero one. There's darts playing. There's one that appears to be a like answer the investors at a stockholder mini game. Which one of the stockholders apparently is a chicken.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that chicken like shoots an egg at you at one point.
Yeah, there's the
golf game. There's looks like stuff. You can straight up play Tekken or Street Fighter.
Virtual Fighter. It's a Sega game. Yeah. That's been in the previous ones. There's one that appears to be like the main character is at a movie theater and a bunch of people with sheep heads are trying to like put him to sleep, and he got to like tap to get. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this minigame. Like, if you showed me the screenshot, I would be like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what game that is, and I don't like.
But I want to play it.
Like, I wish we had the money to do like an actual budget late show thing, and I could go out on the streets and be like, okay, I'm going to show you a screenshot from a video game, and I want you to tell me like what is going on in this screenshot.
They're like, get away from me.
Yeah. You smell.
Yeah.
And there's like one where you're eating like a flatbread with a little kid.
It looks like a giant panko rice cake or something.
No idea.
Oh man, that makes me think of the takoyaki. Shit, my mouth is watering because I'm thinking about those giant. You get them in Osaka. You get a giant cracker, and they put takoyaki on the cracker, and they drizzle the teriyaki sauce. You get another cracker, and you make a giant cracker sandwich with takoyaki in the middle.
That sounds amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff in here. I really like the part where he dials his cell phone like the hardest anybody's ever dialed a cell phone.
That was weird.
Where he's just like swiping and swiping and swiping.
Shit. This looks ridiculous. This looks like my flavor of crazy.
Have you ever played any of the Yakuza games?
You and I
mean, we played some for the dojo.
We played them for the dojo. I took a few of them home, and I just...
You have to start.
You got to start.
It's hard to start.
Yeah.
But once you get in there...
I kind of want to try this.
It's a good starting point because it's the first not Kiryu Yakuza,
and it looks wacky,
and it's very strange. I mean, you also know what kind of game it is, right? Do you know what kind of game it is?
You told me a little bit about it, like how it's like it was like an April Fool's parody.
It's a turn-based RPG with a party.
Okay, that makes sense based on the stuff that you were showing me.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not just like this dude by himself.
Not running around the streets and like there's
it's like he literally has his friends with him, and then they have like different jobs, like a Final Fantasy game. So there was like one where it was like I'll have to show you the trailer. It's amazing. There was one that was like the guy was like a host and he like has a bunch of like glasses stacked up behind him, and he like puts his hand out when the guy tries to hit him. He grabs him and like throws him through all of the champagne glasses that he has stacked up.
Oh boy,
it's pretty good.
That's not good.
Pretty good. Okay, let's breeze through the rest of this. We got some. Xbox Series X is going to be getting some collections from Bethesda. One is going to be Wolfenstein, and the other one's going to be Dishonored and Prey. These are also going to be coming to the PS4. The Wolfenstein one is going to be Wolfenstein: The New Order, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, Wolfenstein 2: New Colossus, and Wolfenstein: Youngblood. And the other one's going to be the Arcane Collection with Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Dishonored: Death of the Outsider, and Prey. I think those are both really solid. The one kind of weird thing is that apparently Best Buy is listing the Wolfenstein collection at $80.
Oh.
Which, like, we have already had some rumblings of $70 being, like, the new default price. But, like, those games are already out, yo. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and, like, I like Wolfenstein, but I don't know if I want to, like, binge every single Wolfenstein game in a row.
Yeah.
Dishonored, maybe. But anyway, that's a thing.
Yeah.
We also got confirmation that Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is getting a remaster and is going to be coming out on November 6th and is going to be on crossplay. It came out with a fun live action trailer about a guy like haunted of the memory of when he lost to a guy online.
That's pretty good.
At 5 minutes and 10 seconds. This is actually pretty clever because as he goes through his life, everything is 5'10".
Fucking eyebrows on him.
Yeah. And then like eventually the guy who beat him like buys a copy of the remastered edition and like leaves it at his door, and he just sees him driving away with like his hand up. And at the very end he manages to beat it. It's like 5:09 or whatever, and he's just like, yay. But it's like this man haunted by the time he got beat in Need for Speed Rivals.
Oh my god.
And it's a pretty fun commercial.
That is like fun. That I gotta give him props for doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm not a Need for Speed guy. I am a burnout man.
Yep.
I'm a burnout man.
Burnout man, molded by it.
Crash Bandicoot is probably going to be coming to the Xbox Series X.
Doesn't surprise me.
We basically got a rating on the ESRB page that Xbox Series X is probably going to be included in the Crash Bandicoot 4 platforms.
Gotcha.
No word on PS5, but we'll probably.
I was gonna say it's Crash Bandicoot. It's probably gonna be on PS5.
Probably so.
Yeah. Well, good. I seems like people are really digging it.
Yeah. I think if you like Crash Bandicoot, you will like it quite a bit.
Sure.
I'm not a fan of Crash Bandicoot.
Aw.
So, one, I never played it as a kid, and two, when I talk shit about it, I got a bunch of people telling me that I'm a stupid asshole, and that just didn't really make you want to play a game, does it?
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
So,
Genshin Impact. Sorry.
I don't know, Matt. I don't think people knew what you were referring to.
Nope.
So the next game from People Can Fly, the developers of Bulletstorm,
right,
is a third-person action game called Outriders.
Outriders
that was supposed to come this year,
okay,
and has been delayed to February of next year.
Okay.
Basically, this is just the standard thing we've seen a lot of. COVID slowed us down. We need a little bit more time to finish it out.
It's fine.
But this game actually looks pretty cool. Third-person action.
It's the first time hearing of it. So yeah.
It's like a weird post-apocalyptic, but with like magic powers, Destiny, but dirty, and made by the Bulletstorm guys. And I'm like,
those are all good things.
I like all that. Yeah.
Magic.
World of Warcraft Shadowlands is also being delayed until next year or later this year. It was supposed to come out.
Oh, wait, is that the next expansion?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, go for it.
Okay. You used to play Warcraft. You used to play World of Warcraft specifically. Have not played it since Cataclysm.
Okay.
I still do like watch the big crazy trailers they put out, like the real fancy CG trailers. I'm every now and then I'm like, what's going on in Warcraft?
Yeah,
you know. And then I'm kind of like, maybe it'd be nice to pick Warcraft back up again. And then I think like, oh yeah, the thing that Morgan and I always say to each other is we quote that old Penny Arcade comic which says I want you to kill 6 Nomus. It's just whenever it's as soon as Northrend opened up, and it's like, I'm here on an adventure. Hey, look at this walrus guy. And it's like, what do you want, walrus guy? I want you to kill 6 Nomus. And it's what it always is. It always boils down to you killing or freeing or doing X number of things, and it's math. And if people like that, that's fine. But I'm not really sure what Shadowlands is all about. So
it's the afterlife.
Oh,
it's like you become like either like an avenging angel, I think, or like you join up with some kind of like. There was a cinematic that I watched that was it Uther, the guy that Arthas killed, the big mustache dude. He was like a big guy in Warcraft 3.
God, I don't remember.
And I think it was him, and it was like all in the Warcraft afterlife, and there was this kind of like seraph angel lady that was like trying to put him like at rest, and he'd been in heaven for like hundreds of years and was just like, no, I fucking hate the guy that killed me. And they're like, no, you have to let go, you have to have rest. And then at one point she he like stumbles. It's actually pretty cool. And she like opens up, because he's all spectral and shit. She like opens up like his cloak and sees like where Arthas stabbed him. And she's like, who fucking did that?
No.
Who wounded your soul?
That sounds awesome.
So,
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah. I mean, you can always install Warcraft and then play it for 2 months and stop.
I would have thought by now they would have done an expansion just about the Emerald Dream, but I don't know if the Emerald Dream is already a place you can go to or not.
I don't remember.
A lot's happened in Warcraft, man.
I memean, the last one was like you can join the factions and you're literally part of like a war that was moving on. So
because I remember that one. It was the war between the Horde and the Alliance. It started afresh because the King Varian was killed. And what's her name? The Blood Elf lady was the leader of the Horde.
I didn't know you knew this shit.
I know. I just again little bits and pieces I've collected over the years, but I just remembered that moment, and it was great watching that moment live with a bunch of reactions and stuff. When she screams, she kills a bunch of guys, and then screams for the Horde, and everybody loses their shit. So it's a good moment.
There you go.
Yeah. Who stabbed your soul?
If you're looking for something to do Halloween-wise, Borderlands 3 has brought back their
A Bloody Harvest.
It looks very similar to what last year's was.
Right.
I think it's kind of lackluster. Like you have to collect a bunch of like what the fuck do they call these things? It's got a clever name. Hectoplasm. You get a hectoplasm, and then you open up a portal to heck, and you go kill the spooky dude. But like the stuff that you get, the cosmetics are just like it's got a bunch of skulls on it. It's not even like you know how like in Overwatch they give you like
new skins,
like skins that look really cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Are they doing that this year?
I haven't seen them start yet.
Well, probably because they're probably ramping up for Overwatch 2.
Well, they'll still do it because they only add like a handful of skins and emotes and stuff. It can't take them more than a couple weeks to put that shit together.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So, all right, let's finish off with some fun stuff.
Okay.
So I like to bookend a podcast. It's like a poem, right? It repeats.
It rhymes.
Yes.
Yeah. It is a poem. It rhymes.
So. Did you know they're making a new Resident Evil film? They're rebooting Resident Evil. So we start with Monster Hunter.
Wait, no, but we were done. We were done. We were doing monsters in the desert with guns.
Yep. Apparently this is like a deadline story. So this is supposed to be going back to the beginning and trying to put together a little better than it was before. It seems to be like, the thing with the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil was that it started with like, the weird paramilitary umbrella team and like superpowered Alice character I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of stuff.
This seems like a side story.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Hive and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like this seems like they want to just try to do it. They just want to try to film it like the way that the games were. I don't know if
they want to do it in a house?
Well, they say that the first one is supposed to take place on a fateful night in Raccoon City. Maybe they'll start with 2 because I think you could start with 2. Like 2, depending on whose story you go with. Actually, it'd be pretty cool if you were able to make the movie and then you split between Leon and Is it Jill in that one?
I think.
Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine.
Was Jill Valentine the second one, or was it the third one? No.
Claire Redfield.
Yeah,
and Leon Kennedy.
Because Jill was...
Sorry, person that was yelling into their phone. Jill was 3.
Yeah, blue tank top.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So here's an idea.
Yeah.
You're going to take Resident Evil. You see, got Resident Evil right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to throw it over my shoulder. We're done. Like, we're done with Resident Evil.
Nope.
Okay.
We're not done with Resident
Evil.
New
one, that new game, the new game coming out.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks different.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's do that. I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it over here on the couch. It's a nice little. It's going to sit right here on the couch. Take the rest of it. Throw it over my shoulder. We're done. How about some Dino Crisis? How about some Parasite Eve? How about fucking anything else?
Well, you're talking about the games.
I'm just saying in general.
You want a new Dino Crisis. You want a new Parasite.
But I also want a
Eve.
Dino Crisis movie and a Parasite Eve movie, and I also want a pony.
Okay. I didn't realize we were just wishing for dumb shit.
And a unicorn.
Okay. Well, I want him to bring back Darkstalkers. And,
I love Darkstalkers.
That robot fighting game that nobody remembers that had the Gundam and the Macross. and the
fucking Techromancer.
Techromancer.
Yeah, I found that. Found that in Osaka for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I don't have a Japanese Dreamcast.
We can fix that. But yeah, the thing is that I think you must calm because they're remaking Resident Evil 4 as we speak. Resident Evil 8 is on the way. This Resident Evil movie is coming. And last week, they announced an animated CG Resident Evil movie that's coming out. So, they ain't ever going to stop with the Resident Evil.
I'm not saying they have to stop, but maybe take a break.
Nope.
Do some Dino Crisis. Nope. Or maybe a proper new Parasite Eve. Remake the first Parasite Eve.
That's not Capcom, that's Square.
Oh. I think of survival horror, and I plug Parasite Eve into that. You're right; it is a Square game, and that's never going to happen because we have to make 7 more Final Fantasy 7 games.
Yes, yes,
and whatever the fuck Final Fantasy 16 is.
True. These are all true facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How is a Square joint?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes. I think you're going to have to fight the Devil May Cry fans for the budget to make something like Dino Crisis, because Resident Evil is going to make. I swear to God, if they made the best Dino Crisis remake in the world, Resident Evil 8 would still sell triple what it sold.
Okay, fine, but you know what? Just move on. We've already been screaming for what? 2-3.5 hours. How long has this podcast been going?
We're coming in at about 2.5 hours.
All right, let's move on.
Which I realized my throat hurts.
Yeah, mine too.
So
it gets shouty when Matt's around.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me dash further hopes.
Cool.
But only to build them back up again.
All right.
So you can't go to Universal Studios Japan Super Nintendo World.
Nope.
Super Nintendo World now. But they have set an opening date for next spring.
Cool.
So,
I've seen some of the videos from this thing.
Yeah, because you can see it from a distance. You can see the crazy Mario.
You can see the
shit.
You can see that it looks like the games.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yes. So as long as things are not crazy, like around April of next year, they want to open this up.
Okay.
And apparently at Universal Japan in
Osaka.
the meantime. They have you can get a little taste. They have a little cafe apparently that's like this Nintendo cafe, and you can get these little Mario ice cream pancake sandwiches.
Yeah, they're like pancake. They're literally pancake sandwiches.
Yeah.
Is that grapes?
Yes.
And Luigi?
So there's a red one. It's like a red pancake shaped like Mario's hat. And it looks like it has cream on the inside and strawberries on the outside with a glaze and little stars. And then there's one for Luigi that's like a green one, and it's got grapes on it with little stars on it.
Jeff, I'm hungry.
Well, we're all hungry, Matt. That's what it means to be alive.
Yeah.
We're either hungry for food or hungry for
something
booze
else.
or hungry for freedom. You take your pick. I'm hungry for a good Watch Dogs game, but
nope.
I'm starving in the desert over
you
here.
can't have a good Watch Dogs games. I can't have a new Dino Crisis games. I guess life is just marching towards extinction at this point.
It's all great. It's fucking great. Super great. I got a new TIE Fighter game. There's that Dinosaur Left 4 Dead's coming out next week.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost
of
Tsushima game is coming out the week after that.
All right, fine. I'm gonna go. Is that dinosaur game only Steam? Is it only PC? Fuck.
Yes.
Right, I guess it's
an early access.
Well,
also there's some other stuff you get, little like Mario and Luigi like straw toppers and all kinds of stuff.
It's fucking adorable.
Looks great. Somebody in the this was a Kotaku article, and like the very first comment was like, "Oh, I see. So Luigi gets grapes. Luigi gets fucked again." I was like, "What's wrong with grapes?
Grapes are great.
Grapes are great. Yeah,
grapes are great.
You put some like sweet syrup on the like sour green grapes, and then like that cream underneath.
Yeah, especially if they're cold, like frozen grapes. They're like
savory pancake. Sounds good.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm good.
That's it.
I got a lot of saliva in my mouth.
That's all the stories. Do we have as much saliva as you want?
Do we want to do one question?
Oh god. All right, real quick.
One question.
Okay, we'll do one question real quick. Let me look over my questions.
Give it to the people.
Let me let's see.
Jesus Christ, I just saw. Oh no, we're not doing that one.
That one's okay. What's this one? Okay, let's do. I think the only time that I've done, see, like these questions are from August.
Oh God, no!
Here's one the guy sent in today. All right. This one's from Detective FDR, who says, "Hey, Jeff and Matt. So recently I bought a tattoo kit because I decided I wanted to learn how to tattoo.
Cool.
Figured I'd practice on fake skin, fruits like bananas, oranges, and honeydew.
Nice.
Stuff like that for a while, and then do my own ankle or thigh and progress from there. Basically practice for a long time before tattooing someone else.
Good call.
Long story, less long. 2 days after getting the kit, I tattooed someone, and friends and family kept volunteering themselves. Lol, sincerely, I did not see that coming. So here's my question. What's something you've done that you got a lot of unexpected positive support for? Your fan, Detective FDRRR. I put as many R's as I want.
They're driving me nuts.
Yep. So Matt, what is something that you've done where you've unexpectedly gotten praise for it?
I make damn good breakfast tacos.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I do too.
Good. I also
breakfast taco cook off.
Oh my god, can we do that? So I
I've been watching a lot of Food Wars though.
Oh yeah, I bet you have.
We got to get an impartial judge, and then when they eat your tacos, it's like part of their clothes come off. When they eat my tacos, all their clothes come off. Oh! They scream and have an orgasm, and
that'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that for me, it would be a little bit of the voice acting I've done.
Okay.
Because that was just something I kind of did for stupid fun because I just like to make silly voices.
Sure.
And then, I talked about it a little bit on mic, but I did voice acting for an Ultraman video game last year and the year before that. And you can find it on YouTube. But I was not expecting for people to be like, "Oh yeah, Matt, we really like some of the funny voices you do." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I thought I was bad, like objectively. Like,
where are those funny voices when we played the dating simulators, Matt? It's always like the same three voices.
Well, I mean, like it's like
right. It's that one.
It's that one.
That guy's been on
Mega Man.
Right. It's those two.
It's because because I can't do it on the fly. I have to sit there and get in. I have to understand the character.
Oh, I see.
It's not the character.
You have to get deep into the psyche.
Get into the psyche
of the booby ninjas. That are going to booby ninja school.
Gotta get into booby ninja.
Blast each other's clothes off with their fucking ninja magic.
I mean, in fairness, like I don't have that much range because I also have never done any training. I've never had a vocal coach or anything. I mean, there's a bunch of shit that's wrong with the way I talk.
Yeah,
that's bad. Like you've been recording with me for a long ass time. I add extra A's onto the end of certain words that. You don't probably notice it now, but people were commenting on it when I first started doing regular recordings. And they're like, Matt has this weird exhalation of air that comes out at weird intervals.
Like what?
Like I'll just be talking and then...
Oh.
Like this... Like this little. It's because
you say you put an A on the end of words. I thought you were talking this.
I thought that this was how you talk like an Italian. Luigi, why you disappointed my mama?
Right, exactly. That's what I thought.
No. I just I think it's because I have like a weird like a soft palate or something. There's something wrong with the way I breathe and talk, and I've had no vocal coaching. So as a result, I have like my go-to voices that I do, but I don't have like a huge range. But I feel like if I've been told that if I went and I did some classes and some vocal coaching and stuff, I could probably do some legitimate voice, like get some legitimate. Get some range.
Get some Leviticus voice work.
Yes.
Just voices for Leviticus.
Leviticus, though.
Just Leviticus.
Just that. Anyway. But yeah, that's one for me where people were like, oh, yeah, man, we fucking love hearing you do the 4 or 5 voices that you can do. But yeah.
Yes. I'm just trying to think of. Okay, you know what? There's 2 things that I will put into this category of like, what's a thing where you did and you were like, okay, what's something that you've done that you got a lot of unexpected positive support for? I hate, and hate is too strong a word. I find fault with every single thing I cook. And I'm always like, that could be better.
Okay.
That could be better. That's not very good. And then it's like I made Matt a turkey sandwich.
Well, this is the best turkey sandwich I've ever
Stop
had.
talking about my turkey sandwich.
I love a turkey sandwich. It's a great turkey sandwich.
Or back when I had a girlfriend, I used to make dinner for her. Like I used to just like make dinner on a Friday because I didn't used to do much recordings on Friday.
Right.
So I'd have it off. So like I'd go to the store, I'd buy like some pork chops and like make up a dinner. And then when she walked in the door, I'd be like, hey, here's some dinner.
Yeah, sure.
And she would be like, oh my God, this is the best thing. And I was like,
you're just saying that.
Lies.
Duplicitous serpent. Yeah.
The same thing is very much true. I didn't want to have like this cliche of an answer, but from time to time, people will send me an email here at Rage Select that basically just reads like, you know what, man? I was like in a really dark place. I was having a hard time and like listening to you guys, like have fun and play video games. That is like what got me through the back half of last year.
That's nice.
And I can't thank you enough. And I always like read those. Matt, I appreciate them. I am a child on the inside. I do not have the emotional range to know what to do with that where I'm like, no. Don't tell me that. I don't know what to do with that information. You're trying to make me what is that, like pride? I can't.
No, not that.
I don't know how to do that. That's
gross.
Like one of those people where you're just like, oh hey, thanks for helping me move. I'm like, you get
out of here.
No, like seriously, thank you. Being real. Shut up. Stop it.
I'll hit you with my car.
It's fine. I'll fucking stab you if you keep talking to me.
I'm gonna stab you.
Because I come from those, I don't know. Is that a common thing? I feel like me and a lot of my family, we kind of have that where we like don't know how to accept a compliment or a thanks, and we're just like, yeah, no.
Stop.
Or when somebody's like, "Oh, you did a really good job," and it's like, "No, I didn't. No, I really didn't do a good job. I could have done way better than that. You just give me like 20 years and like $40,000, and I will give you a way better." Fucking crepe Luigi had than what I just made.
I feel that way sometimes about my art because I'll get praise from people like that'll range from I really like your stuff, or I had a friend tell me, and I've talked about this a couple times, not on this show though, but she basically told me like, yeah, if it wasn't for you and the Godzilla comics you were making, I don't think I would be alive. And I'm like, oh my God. God. I don't really know what to. That's the kind of level of stuff where I'm just like, I have trouble processing that. And I think part of it is, again, I can't speak for you and your family, but for me, I don't want to get a big head. There's a fear that you'll become this egotistical asshole and you just kind of, so you deny it. I deny you.
Well, I was raised in the 80s by somebody who was firmly stuck even further back in time. And I was basically just programmed with your standard American white male repression. You don't show feelings. Feelings are for girls.
If
you're mad, you just like shove that shit down and wait until it explodes into an inappropriate outburst at your cousin's birthday. But by no means should you ever attempt to address it or let it out. So you can imagine that as somebody with that pathology, working on the internet is just number one fan-fucking-tastic.
It's very healthy.
Very healthy.
Anyway.
Very healthy. Mm-hmm. Mail at RageSelect.com is the email address.
That's the one.
RageSelect, Patreon.com/RageSelect is where you can go if you'd like to help us out. It's weird. I've done 2.5-hour podcasts before, Matt, but I don't know what it is about today. Man, it feels like we've talked about it. I feel like we've recorded about as much as you and I normally record in a recording session. It feels like we've recorded 1 billion hours.
I just was telling Morgan on my way out of the house. We're just doing a podcast today, so I probably won't be done. It is 11:45 at night. I'm going home.
ThatFrankArt.net. Do it. That one.